Hi, friends. What's up? Um, so there's everyone has haters, right? So obviously, itong tao na to, okay. Um, Dati siyang nasa podcast ko. So she would be in my podcast, and then nung December, um, she wa in-approach niya ako to put up her own VA agency, and I think she was expecting me to help her for free. And I don't do that. Like clients pay me a lot of money to run a VA agency. So I turned her down flat. Tsaka another thing, you want to go into business with me, you show me reports, you show me numbers. Diba? Gumawa ka ng feasibility study. You tell me how much it's going to cost. You show me na-research mo yung taxation sa US, na aware ka, diba? Like VAs based in the Philippines with a Philippine-based VA agency are going to cost a lot more than VAs that are coming from a VA agency that's based in the US. Wala siyang pinresent na ganon. Like, you expect me to help you for free? I don't do that. Okay, my content on interviews and all that shit, like that's free. That's to help you guys. 'Di ba? Parang gusto mo akong tulungan ko na kumita ka ng milyon, make me an offer. I'm a professional. Hello. I fix clients' businesses. I have a client right now. I need to fix his business. Neva, he wants to he wants to be grossing 3 million within 12 months. I have to meet that goal. That's my skill set. Pero wag ka mag-expect na, 'di ba, tutulungan kita for free with your VA agency. Like I have a choice to say yes or no. And I can see that hindi ka nag-prepare ng maayos. So, nung inayawan ko siya, sumama yung loob niya, 'di ba? So nag-sour graping siya. Tapos nag-form siya some group with other people. I don't know. Like hindi ko na sinundan masyado, 'di ba? So and they started doing their own lives like I give a fuck. Like I don't care. I don't do this for me. Okay? I don't do this for you, right? I do it for the people who may natututunan sa podcast. Yung mga kawawa na mga newbies, they come in bullshit sila. They come in with no realistic idea of what it's like to work as a VA or a freelancer. So I do it for them, 'di ba? Sabi ko, if one person attends my podcast, I will still do my podcast. If 70 people attend my podcast, I will still do my podcast. Like I don't care. Kung isang tao lang, 70 na tao, 20 na tao, wala akong pakialam. Okay, kasi may may maraming nag-feedback na parang may natututunan sila. So, the content on interviews and stuff is free, but yung my content, like for example, I'm not gonna do content on how to set up a success VA agency and then run it and then make millions. Like that's not my niche. Okay, my niche is the VA interviewer. That's it. That's what's for free. So after noon, sumama yung loob niya at parang inipon niya yung mga alipores niya. So yan. And then I blocked them all. The reason why I blocked them all is bala ko maglabas ng marketing automation na training. Diba? I don't know how many of you were in the podcast where we talked about automation. It's how to make your work easier. Okay, that's how I make my work easier as an operations VA. Kaya yung mga teams na hinahawakan ko, walang nag-OT doon. Halimbawa, puwera isa, ganon, nag-OT ng 2 hours a week just for reports. Because I'm not the kind of manager na gusto ko na mag-OT-OT kayo. Parang, I'm not that kind of manager. Diba? So, like, ginawa ko, I block them all because I don't want them to benefit from my content or my yung course na yung offer ko or anything else from my experience. Diba? So So, nung binlock ko sila, parang sumama yung loob nila. Because they can't see my content anymore. They can't watch me anymore. They won't get invited to any future training that I do. So, kaya gumawa sila ng gumawa ng mga bagong account. Kaya makikita nyo yung mga nagko-comment na mga haters, puro mga bagong account. Diba? So, that's them. Those are the haters. And I don't care. Like, di mag-comment kayo na mag-comment. You're just increasing my engagement in TikTok. That's all you're doing. Diba? Kaya nagte-thank you ako kanina. Sige! Sige! Sagot kayo na sagot. Sige, i-create pa ng engagement. Like, it's gonna push me into other people's FYPs. Right? Why don't you push my legitimate content para yung mga nakakita, yung mga kailangan na ng tulong, they'll be able to watch my videos. Like, I'm not gonna do it for you. So, like, if you're seeing a lot of like comments from haters, it's because of that girl that I turned down. Okay, because like I have a lot of experience, but I don't work for free. Okay, mga beaters, it happens. Tapos ngayon, tingnan mo, tumigil din, kaka-comment. Bakit? They just realize that they're pushing my engagement. Diba? Ang dami kong natutunan dito, especially sa automation. Exactly. So, Maxim, abangan nyo kasi baka next month, yung asawa ko tsaka ako. So, yung asawa ko is also operations manager with a big marketing agency, and his expertise is also automation. So, baka mga March po, magpo-push out kami ng paid training for automation. I will also be offering scholarships. Okay, so usually mga aspiring VAs, pero that's coming up in the future. Sa mga binlock ko, yung mga haters, like they're not invited to that. Kung mano-mano sila sa trabaho, dusa kayo kakamano-mano. I don't give a shit. Sabi nga ni Congressman, lahat ng mangyari sa'yo, kasalanan mo, mapabuti o masama. Exactly. And I don't do it for you. I don't do it for me. Ika nga nila, hindi ka mapapakain ng friendship. So, guys, if you have haters or you don't have haters now, you have them in future, you're not the only one. Okay? The best revenge is just to do what you do, continue doing what you do, and do it really well. Okay? That's the best revenge. So, aspiring VA po, been in BPO for 11 years. Ako rin, 11 years bago ako naging VA. Looking for internship, scholarship. Wala pa po. Siguro mga next month pa yung marketing automation. So, if you are seeing a lot of like ads and videos on parang VA courses, keep in mind, yung mga VA course nakikita nyo, kapag entry level yung skill, yung nagtuturo sa inyo, medyo mababaw yung experience as a VA or freelancer. So, ano yung mga entry level na skill? Yan, yung mga GVA, ayan, may mga, sigurado may papasok na mga haters ngayon. Kaya pagpasensyahan nyo na yung mga pinsan natin na mga abnoy. Diba? Kasi naiinggit sila sa content, nale-left out sila. Yung tunay na account nila is na black. So, baka mga next month po, yung marketing automation training. The fact that there's not a lot of people offering marketing automation training tells you that it's an in-demand skill. So right now, yung nag-hire sa akin na client is he uses marketing automation, and that's why he hired me. Plus, my operations experience, so marami siyang problema sa negosyo niya na kailangan ko ayusin. Diba? And my shift starts at around 9:30 to 10. So I'm gonna thank you for the likes, guys, and thank you for popping in. Pagpasensyahan nyo na yung mga pinsan natin na abnoy na mga haters. Okay? So kung magliligwak ako ngayon, like, that's the reason why. Okay? So, sa mga gustong pumasok SVA, my advice is find a skill set. Hi, Kim! Find a skill set na hindi lahat gumagawa. Okay? So, totoo lang, maraming real estate VA na. Because marami nag-aalok ng courses. Okay? And ng real estate courses, SMM. Pwede po sumali sa, next month po, mga March. March pa po siya. So, ayusin pa namin because there's gonna be different levels to the training. I can even refer you to clients because, obviously, FB ads, I don't do FB ads, but I actually, friends kasi, pag sumali ka sa simulation interview, okay, pag tinapos mo yung simulation interview, then I will give you access to FB ads self-paced training, and you'll have access for 12 months. Comprehensive. Wala pa po, yung marketing automation is next month. Next month, marketing automation training. Good for referral, yun na din po. So, if let's say you finish the training and then I know a client na naghahanap ng like marketing automation via, there's actually like, may nagme-message sa akin sa onlinejobs.ph, hindi ko tinatanggap. And then, sa LinkedIn, may mga kakilala ko who, thank you so much, tita, virtual assistant tita. Nanginginig na ako. So, today is Neva's simulation interview. Okay, so every Tuesday, I'll be doing simulation interviews. Gusto ko sana 8 to 11, kaso sagasa na yung shift ko, diba? So, I'm gonna do it like 7 to 9. So if you finish the simulation interview, at the end of it, I'm gonna give you a guideline for interviews and then access to self-paced training. Marami po, SMM, FB ads, design. Gusto ko din yan para maibanan. Marami na kasi GV at EAS po. That's the key to, like, if you want to work for just one client and make 6 digits, like, find a niche na, diba? Find a niche na konti lang yung pupasok. Zapier considered a no-code automation. So Zapier is not an automation tool, it's an integration tool. So sa marketing automation, it's like para halimbawa, yung isang client dati, wait lang, Billy J. Explain ko lang to, and then we'll do our simulation interview. And tayo, real estate simulation interview. Kaya handa mo yung sarili mo doon. Okay. So Zapier is an integration tool, and Zapier make yung dating, ano ba yung make dati? Integromat. Yan. So, Billy J. Ano pangalan mo? Tawagan kita na Neva, di ba? So, may mga tools that you need to link together, right? Like, halimbawa, yung gusto ng client mo, yung certain type of form. Halimbawa, jot form, mga ganyan. Kaso, yung kinuha niya na landing page software is like ClickFunnels. And ClickFunnels uses another type of form. Kaso, ayaw ng client mo yun. They want to use their own form, which is in jot form. So how are you going to link, like, the ClickFunnels landing pages to yung jot forms na gusto ni client? You use an integration tool like Zapier. Okay, basta may API, may integrate yan. Mapapasok yan. Kung walang API, sorry na lang. Diba? Parang caveman pa kasi yung pang caveman yung tool. Okay, so i-advise mo na lang, hi Arnel, hi Sir Arnel. As in, nginig na ako. Normal lang yan. So, get used to it. Like, being nervous is very natural. So, and if you're nervous with me, then at least nadaanan mo na before, maya ako na lang kwento why ako ask. Okay. Yung Zapier is relatively easy to learn. Like if you sign up, you can even sign up for a free account for Zapier. Syempre, mas maganda yung paid account. Oh, good luck daw. Sabi ni ano. Oh, akit ka na, ano. Akit ka na, Neva. Bali next month. Hindi siya opening. Oh, it's not an opening. So, it's marketing automation training. Now, afterwards, there's no guarantee that you'll get hired. However, syempre, marami akong kilala na clients that might need like a marketing automation VA. Okay, so sa LinkedIn pa lang, there's like 3 clients, and then yung isa dun sa online jobs, yan, in-invite kita. You have to be on camera, okay? It's gonna be like a real interview.
Wait lang, ma'am. Hello?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Paano 'to i-open mo ang video?
Is there not a like a video icon?
Just like, I'm gonna check. Live access needed to go live on video. I guess you can live on audio. Okay. Live access needed to go live. Hindi ko ma-open yung cam, ma'am. May lumalabas na
Ano nakalagay?
live access needed to go live on video. As a guest, you can go live on audio.
Ah, okay.
As a
So,
guest.
kailangan mag-live ka dun sa account mo.
Hindi pa ata ako pwede mag-live, ma'am. Kasi
Ah, hindi ka pa
below,
pwede dahil sa number of followers.
opo, below 1K pa. Oh my gosh, nanginginig na ako, Miss Jen.
Okay, so we'll just need to continue this way. Like, we can't do cam. And gusto ko sana sa Zoom kaso may limit. Wala pa siya 1K ata. Or
Yes,
close to 1K ata. Anyway, so before we continue, so today's, sort of live is a regular simulation interview, which I do every Tuesday for this month, the month of February. And the reason why I'm doing that is that because in January I reached like 5,000 followers, so this is kind of like giving back to the community, etc. Okay. Ngayon, dito sa live, kung may papasok ng mga haters, because I've had a few recent haters, like, I don't really care. Like, sige, dagdagan niyo pa yung engagement sa account ko, okay lang. 'Di ba? So, kung liligwak ako ng mga tao dito, like, it probably means that you're a hater or you're a brand new fake account that's been created by the accounts that I've blocked. Okay, so just in advance, so just so you know. So, Billy J. Okay,
hello, good evening, ma'am.
just for this month, Dahlia. Okay, just for this month. So, today's simulation interview, we have very brave. Climbing up is C. Billy J. So, you sent me over your resume, and you've actually applied for several VA jobs. And wait, so what we're gonna do is a simulation interview, which means it's gonna be, like a real interview. And I want you to think is the way that I want you to think is it's like an actual interview. If it was a real interview, you would need to be on camera.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so kasi the reason why interviewers ask you to be on cam is because they want to see, you know, tinitingnan din nila yung reaction mo, yung, if you might be lying to a question, yung mga ganyan. Okay, let me just set it up. Do you remember last week's session on the structure of the structured interview?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so we're going to follow that. And you mentioned that you'd applied as a real estate VA previously,
Yes.
correct? Okay, so we're going to use that as a basis. What kind of real estate VA? Is that like a cold caller, or is that like a,
I
um,
applied as cold caller, ma'am, and admin support and lead gen. But
okay,
sadly, I was not able to. meet their standards.
Okay, so let's pretend that today you're actually interviewing for a lead gen position.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay? All right.
Okay.
Okay, so we're going to start now. Okay, thank you so much for showing up today, Billy J. What do you prefer to be called?
You can call me Neva and Bella, ma'am.
Neva or what?
Bella.
Bella? Is that what you said? Bella?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So, Bella, my name's Jen, and I'll be interviewing you today. This is your initial interview, and I believe that you're applying for the position of lead gen VA. Is that
Yes,
correct? Lead
yes,
generation
ma'am.
VA?
That's correct, ma'am.
Okay, great. So just a few ground rules before we get started. Um, so we're scheduled for about an hour. If your background is a little bit noisy, go ahead and mute yourself. Okay. Now, if you need to go to the bathroom, then you just need to tell me and then go to the bathroom and then come back and let me know. But please go on mute. All
Yes,
right.
ma'am. Hello, ma'am.
So, yes.
I just saw Miss K came up.
Okay. So we're going to kind of ignore everyone that's down there for right now. Okay. So if you need to go to the bathroom, just need to let me know. Go on mute, and then when you come back, just tell me when you're back. It's
Okay,
that
ma'am.
simple.
Okay,
All right.
ma'am.
So the purpose of an interview, us as a company, we're here to see if you're the right fit for this role. Okay, that's my job to see if you're the right fit for a lead generation VA. But the thing is, you also have to be looking at us, the company, to see if we're the right fit for you. Do you understand that? Bella, you're on mute.
Yes, Miss Jen.
Yeah, you understood that, right? Like, so
Yeah.
the way that we're profiling you, if you're the right fit, you also have to look at us and consider, is this the right company? Are they the right fit for me? Okay. So it's a two-way street. All right, so we're going to get started. I did look through your resume, and so tell me a little bit about yourself. Nothing that's on your resume. In 2 minutes, tell me something about yourself.
Okay. Hello. Good evening. My name is Bella, and something about myself that is not including the resume. I am a active person in learning new things in life and also applying them in my career. When I'm not working, I love to play volleyball, write some poems and songs, and engage with new social media learnings through courses that I've took online.
Okay, thank you. So, why have you decided to apply with us? Why have you decided to apply as a lead gen VA with this company?
Uh, Based on the research that I've done, Mom, the mission and vision of the company is greatly aligned with my own personal goal and the experience that I had in my previous job and the courses that I took really made me a good match for this position.
So, you said that our goals as a company are aligned with your goals. So, what are your goals?
To able to grow more and to offer services that are globally competitive in real estate.
Okay, and what do you think are the company goals? Where did you see that?
On the website, ma'am, as I've searched,
Okay. Um, Tell me, like in 5 years, where do you see yourself? So, what's the plan in 5 years? What does that have to do with you applying to this company?
so my plan for 5 years is first is to able to get into this job and later on grow in this position so that I can be a great value for the company and help the company to reach its goal for to grow even bigger and more known globally.
I mean, what is your specific goal? In
Uh,
5 years, where do you see yourself in 5 years?
in 5 years, ma'am, I really see myself working from home I really wanted to get into this job because it's really something that I've been looking forward to, and my goals for 5 years are like to be a master in the things that I do, especially for this role.
Okay, what's your goal income in 5 years? How much do you how much do you project that you'll be making in about 5 years, let's say?
Within 5 years, ma'am, I see that I could earn around 45 to 60 a month, but my my priority goal for now is to really get into the industry for this position.
Okay. Um, so tell me, what are the obstacles or what are your weaknesses that will prevent you from, because as you know, in the job ad, we are hiring for a lead generation VA, but and it's not necessary that you have a lot of experience, but there are certain qualifications that we want you to have. So, and there is training involved. Okay.
Okay.
So, there are a lot of people who have applied for the role. What makes, like, what are the things that you think will prevent you from doing a great job as a lead generation VA? So, I'm asking about your weaknesses.
It could be that I really don't have the exact word in mind, ma'am, right now, but something that could prevent me in doing great or doing good in this position is perhaps that I don't have openness to learn new things within the role of this position. That would be a great reason, if ever, that would be the great reason to prevent me in doing good for this position, ma'am.
So, you're saying that in this position, you need to be learning new things. Is that right?
We need to be open in learning new things as the market and the ways of things changes rapidly for every time. We need to be open in learning new skills, new strategy in how we do lead generation because changes is every evergreen.
Is changes or what?
I mean, changes in stuff that we do is constant. So we need to open ourselves in learning this and to adapt to the changes for us to
Uh,
be more competent.
okay, so um, how would you describe yourself in 3 words so that you're a perfect fit for this job? Just 3 words.
Never stop trying.
Okay. So I took another look at your resume. What sort of experience do you think you have that applies to this role or that's similar?
In my previous job, ma'am, we do some research, like we do lead gens, but not in real estate. For personal, for my in for an online store. So we search up suppliers that could that has also the same item that we're looking for the online store. So I think it's a great it has a similar thing to do with lead generation where we do we search online or we use Facebook or Zillow.
Which position was that? The one, like, which is that that's listed on your resume?
It was not listed in my resume, ma'am, because I it was only for 2 months as a page manager for a small online store. So I did not include it in my resume because it was only 2 months.
Why is it only 2 months?
Because it was a small business and the owner decided to stop the operation.
Okay. Was that local or international?
Local, ma'am. It was
Okay.
local.
So you think that the research that you did for the small local business, it's kind of
So
similar
similar
experience
with
to,
regeneration because we did also research on where to get the items that we are gonna sell in the page, and we also search up all the supplier within the Philippines that can also sell us the item that we're looking for.
okay, tell me a bit more about your experience as a contact tracer. That was that virtual or was that like on
Field
site
on site, ma'am. It was
in the field?
during
Okay.
yeah,
So tell me about that.
it was during pandemic where we do profiling for patient that been positive with the COVID-19, where we do daily call monitoring for clients. We also do prepare reports for the doctor, and we also contact the doctor for like if there are reports of expired patients during the day.
Okay. So that was that for about a year or about a year and a half, right?
A year.
1 year. Okay. So what did you enjoy most about that job? Because you mentioned profiling. So what did you enjoy most about that job?
I really not enjoy the job actually, but the experience in helping others during the time of during the pandemic time was really something that I am proud of. We were able to help many family to be accommodated by the government and able to send medical aids during those time, which is really important because during that time people are like really scared with people who are infected with the virus, and that is something that the job itself I really did not enjoy, but the experience that I have doing the job was really something else.
Okay. And from that role, you went into more of like a GVA role. Is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So tell me a little bit more about the GVA role. How long was that for, and who was that for?
So during the after the contact tracer, I was employed for the CHO, where later on I was assigned to the Sangguniang Panglungsod, which I am a support personnel or a data entry specialist for the paperless system, where I do admin tasks, setting up virtual meeting via Zoom. I also do the statement of checking of accounts and also download the approved minutes of the meeting, committee reports, and resolution to the paperless system.
Okay. But didn't you hate all that? Because a lot of it is like things you just have to do over and over again, right? Like, isn't that something that's kind of really irritating?
No, it's not because the it was all new for me during for that time. I was really excited in learning everything in the government because I was really someone that who dreamed to work, especially somewhere in the legislative body of the government. And yeah, I enjoyed every bit of my stay there.
And why did you leave that role?
I left that role due to I was eyeing work from home last year. I was eyeing work from home since 2022 because I see it pays better compared to my previous job, and I it's been my dream to be able to work from home because everything that I am doing right now, as in the working from home environment, is something that I thought was unreal. So when I learned about it during the pandemic, I was like, I'm gonna prepare for this.
Okay, so you said it's your dream to work from home, etc. What's your main motivator for wanting to work from home?
My family member, because we are nine in the family, and my previous job, although it was a great job, I was surrounded with great people, but with the inflation going on every year, it really is not practical to stay there. And yeah, I just that's that is my reason, ma'am, to take the risk to applying for working from home.
Okay, great. So you mentioned that there's nine of you in the family. You meant like nine
Yes, ma'am.
children. Oh, okay.
Yeah, I
Not
meant family, nine family with my parents and my brothers and sisters.
okay, and you're the like
Third,
what's your you're
third,
the third. Okay.
yes, ma'am.
Okay. So are there other family members who are like working from home as well?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Tell me what you know about, because you know you have some sort of related experience to lead generation. So lead generation for real estate is kind of really different. Okay, it's
Yes,
gonna involve different platforms. Tell me what you know about you know
lead
lead
generation, ma'am.
generation. Yeah, what's your
Yeah.
understanding?
So I just took up a course related to this position, which is real estate virtual assistant, where I've learned and I got too familiar with the tools that are being used, such as Zillow, Facebook, and Google Sheets. I also learned how to create leads, where I also have my sample workman if you want me to show for lead generation.
What is that? You said you created what?
I created a sample work for lead generation, which
Okay,
I
like a sample
work
tracker, something like that.
sample sheets, ma'am, for lead gen for possible sellers of property.
Okay, is that for your previous client?
No, that's from my previous course that I took, ma'am,
From
online.
your course. Okay, I
Yeah.
got it. So it sounds like your understanding of lead generation is more on like manual lead generation.
Yes,
Is
ma'am.
that correct? Okay. Um, do you know anything at all about automating lead generation?
No, I have like zero knowledge about automating lead generation for now.
Okay, fair enough. Um, okay, so let's say if I was to give you a situation, okay? Um, if we were to hire you for this role, what would your first 30 days look like according to, you know, your the way that you see it? What would your first 30 days look like, and what would your first 60 days look like? Tell me
On
about that.
okay. On my first 30 days, ma'am, I see it as I will started to learn things on hand on about lead generation, but later on 60 days, I can be someone who is already not mastered, but someone that is really familiar in lead generation.
Okay. What if, let's say, you've been lead generating for 60 days, and then the client says to you, you did find us, 600 leads, but 75% of them are no good.
I will assess my way of doing the job, ma'am. Perhaps I could improve in. There are things needed to be learned to improve more in my job. I will take up courses for searching new ways on how to gather leads. Maybe even learn automation, lead automation for real estate.
So what would you say to the client? Because you're in a meeting with a client, the client says, you know what, we really appreciate your work, Bella. You found us like about 600 new leads, but 75% of them are no good. Like they're not qualified. How, what would you, say to the client exactly?
Um, I would
Would
probably
you?
say, ma'am, I would
Mhm.
like ask them if they want to see different results. Like, do they want me to produce what?
Yes, of course
Oh,
we want to see different
I,
results. We
I
love the
like.
numbers. It's the
I,
quality that's the problem. That's the
yes,
client
I would
saying.
ask them about what kind of leads are they looking for? Like, do they want only the quantity of leads, or are they looking for leads that are despite with small number but a great leads?
Okay. Um, have you ever, so how long have you been working? Like working
Working,
professionally?
I have almost 3 years of working experience now for the government setup.
Okay. Have you ever been in a situation where you didn't like you had a bad professional relationship with somebody in the workplace?
No, ma'am, I haven't yet experienced that because I I see myself as someone that is like a student, ma'am, when starting to work. I am always open in everything that my bosses are gonna introduce me with, like new stuff, new work, or new reports. And for almost 3 years, I haven't encountered any bad relation with my boss because I finish my work before the due date or before the given deadline.
Okay. If I had a magic wand, okay, and I said tomorrow I'm going to give you the perfect work environment. I'm going to give you the perfect client, perfect team, perfect work environment. Describe what that work environment would look like.
The perfect work environment for me is an environment that helps each other in for instance for projects, for work, and everyone is always open in learning new stuff. Like everyone is competent, everyone is serious about their jobs, everyone is committed to the things they do for that job role, ma'am. I mean, that's
Okay,
for me is the perfect work environment.
that would be perfect.
Yes,
Oh,
ma'am.
wait
No
lang ah.
backlog.
May tao sa gate. Wait lang. Sorry, wala pala. Okay, so that would be your perfect work environment. Okay, got it.
Yes, ma'am.
Um, so as we're the owners of the company. They're kind of based in the US. We've got some people working on Central Time, some people working on Eastern Time. Um, are you familiar with US time zones?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, are you familiar with US time zones?
Yes, ma'am. I've been training myself for the night shift.
Have you ever been on night shift?
No, I haven't yet able to experience working night shift, but I'm a night person.
Okay. So like it's not going to be an issue if, let's say, we put you on Central Time. Let's say.
But it's no big deal, ma'am, for me.
Okay. How soon are you available to start?
As soon as you required me, ma'am, I can even start today
Um,
or late, maybe.
we're not gonna ask you to start today because we still have to, do an assessment for your interview and then the test that you took previously. And our time frame is usually like 24 to 48 hours. You'll know whether you're accepted for the position, which means that you're going to go through training first, and then we're going to assign you to one of the teams. So there's a team on Central Time. So there's a team on EST that needs lead gen as well, etc. So that's kind of what we're looking at in terms of next steps.
I'm willing to wait for that, ma'am.
Okay. Are there any? Do you have any like special circumstances that I should know about? Like, for example, anything to do with religion, your religion, or do you have any special circumstances, like any family members? Like, for example, I had somebody tell me that his son, he needs to get out at, let's say, before 8 o'clock Philippine time because his son has like therapy every Tuesday, Thursday. What are the things that I need to know about you that will kind of, you know, to do with scheduling or your religion
I
or anything like that?
I don't have any special condition, ma'am, for that kind of concern because my family is in a good condition, and I am me myself. I also have no other priorities except for this job.
Oh, okay. So do you have any questions for me?
Yes, ma'am. I do have some questions.
Okay, shoot.
Like, if you were to hire me, and if you were to consider me in hiring me for this position, ma'am, what would be your reason in hiring me for this position?
Well, as you saw in the job ad, we need somebody who communicates really well. We need somebody who's very details oriented because it is a lead gen role. It is kind of boring. Sorry to say. Okay. We need somebody who's available to start like more or less ASAP, and then we need somebody who can work, US business hours. So, that would be the reasons why, we would hire you. But, like I we've had a lot of applications, so we need about 24 to 48 hours to kind of review your application, and then you'll receive feedback whether you're moving on to the next step or not. Okay,
Can I ask again one last question, ma'am?
sure.
Uh, what should I be looking forward, ma'am, in working with the company
Um,
if if ever I get hired?
um, so if you decide to work for us, we offer a really competitive package. This role, as you know, is full time only because it takes a lot of time to do lead gen. I understand there are clients outside who hire, you know, lead generation specialists part time, but honestly, like 4 hours is not enough. Okay, except if the lead generation is automated, which at this time it's not. Okay, um, so we offer a really competitive package. We have a lot of support in the team. Um, the training itself is top notch when it comes to lead generation. And if you do really well with manual lead gen, probably within about 3 to 4 months, you might get invited to, do the training for automated lead gen, and that's a big thing. That's a really nice skill set to kind of add. Um, so those are just a few of the things that you've got to look forward to if you do work with us.
Oh,
Okay.
that sounds great, ma'am. Can
Anything
I
else?
can I final question, ma'am?
Go on.
This will be my last, I promise. Can you describe me the culture of the company, ma'am, on its way on working, how the work culture of the company?
So we're in real estate. So real estate has deadlines, and as you know, lead generation is a numbers game. Okay, so the faster you are, the better it is. But if you're fast and then the leads are substandard, then you've just wasted a lot of our time. Okay. So that's why we need somebody in this role who's going to be details oriented. Like we're not going to skip the details. Okay.
That
Um,
will
yeah. So um, for the people that you report to, I think I can safely say that should you decide to reach out and if you have any questions, especially for newbies, people who are straight out of training who actually survived the training, there is somebody who is going to be available to you during your shift so that you can ask them any questions. Now, if they don't ask your questions, then you need to come, you need to go directly to maybe come to me, okay? And I'll talk to them because that's my role as HR, okay? Um,
okay.
so you mentioned that you like a lot of support, you like a lot of learning. There are chances to learn here, but as you progress, again, it's like by it's not like you can just take the training on your own. You need to be kind of recommended for the next level of training. Um, in terms of monetary, so we do have an annual performance review. Um, and should you get accepted, then we're going to go into that in more details. But I think we mentioned in the job ad that what we offer is very competitive in terms of an hourly rate, and this is a full time role. Uh, Also, we're not super strict on, let's say, if you have clients outside. Let's say you have a project-based client outside. As long as you're not working for that client during our work hours, then it's fine. Let's say you have a project-based client after your shift, then do it after your shift. Don't do it during your shift, because if we catch you working for another client while you're working for us, like that's the end of the relationship.
No.
Okay, is that understood?
Yes, ma'am, that is understood.
Okay, so Bella, I really appreciate your time. I think we had a really nice chat, and I feel you might be a good fit for the role. We just need to do the assessment, and then 24 to 48 hours, you should be receiving an email. Um, Now, in the same email, if you're moving forward, you'll be receiving a training schedule. But if you're not moving forward, then we're just going to say thank you so much. Good luck with the rest of your work from home career. And I
Okay.
truly, truly believe that, you know, you like, if that's your dream, then, it just seems like you're working towards it. You're going to get it. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Even
Thank
if it's
you.
not with us. All right. But I really appreciate your time. Thank you so much. And just wait for our communication. Okay.
Thank you. Okay.
Oh, tapos na, Neva.
Diyos ko po!
Kamusta na? So guys, so the
No.
ones who are asking to join, so si Neva
Ah,
nag-ano po last week
pa-
pa. So kasi may
sagot.
preparation kami dito. So I'm not taking on anyone else today. Depends. So bibigay ko ng assessment si Neva. Okay, and then we'll discuss your questions. Wait lang,
Hala,
switch over lang.
ano naman? Yung pawis ko. Oh, God. Ito na ata yung pinaka-nervous na naramdaman ko, ma'am, sa interview.
Kamusta naman, Neva?
Ito ata yung nakakatakot.
Natuwa ka ba?
Alam, ma'am, nangarag
That's
ako.
how I interview. Actually, medyo mabait ako sa interview.
Opo nga, ma'am. So, sa beginning
Ano,
pa
bigyan,
lang,
bigyan na
ay,
kita ng feedback.
opo, ma'am, sige, ma'am. Pero may
I'll
nag-note
tell
lang
you
ako.
what you did well and what you did not do well. Okay.
Ano,
Um, so first of all, you were on time, like you were early. So for me, that's a big deal. Na nandiyan
mm,
ka ng maaga. Okay. So pag nandiyan ka na maaga, like to the interviewer, mabait na yung interviewer. Okay, right? If you're late, like, you have to expect, like, the interviewer is going to be pissed off to some extent. So, try to hop in early. The fact that you were early, you were prepared, nandiyan ka na, Thank you so much. You have no idea how much I appreciate that. Sobrang simpleng bagay yan. But really, there's a lot of people who take it for granted na parang they can hop in whenever they want. Ngayon, kung malilate kayo, nawalan kayo ng kuryente, mag-email kayo. Siguro naman, pwede kayong mag-data, mag-email sa data to the interviewer and say, I'm so sorry, our power just went out. I'm going to be about 30 minutes late. I really apologize for that. Or would you like to reschedule? Parang ganon, diba? So, the fact that you were early, that put me in a good mood right away. Okay. So,
My
yan.
God. Grabe, nahilig ka dito.
Uminom ka muna ng tubig.
Oh, God.
Opo, hindi mag-a-adjust ang nag-interview kasi may schedule din yan. Kasi,
Okay.
halimbawa, group interview, so marami kayo. Or, magkakasunod kayo ng interview. Yung iusog ka lang ng 10 minutes, malaking bagay po yan. It's not always possible. Usually, sasabihin ng interviewer, sige, reschedule na lang natin. 'Di ba? If mabait yung interviewer. 'Di ba? So, keep in mind, the fact that you showed up early, like that puts your interviewer already in a good mood. And then, yung opening mo, when I was like, hi, thank you so much for showing up on time. Your tone, the tone of voice, okay, because I can't see you, all right? Pero yung tone of voice pa lang was really excellent, okay? I don't care that you don't have an American accent, whatever. Lead gen siya, di ba? So, you know, I, honestly, guys, people think that I care about accent. I really don't give a shit. Unless yung ina-applyan nyo is sales na closer. Okay, iba yun. Iba yung closer na sales. So, your tone, when I greeted you, hi, how are you today? Ganyan, ganyan. Your tone was great. It was friendly. It was open. Okay? Um, and then, nag-start tayo dun sa opening. So, mga opener questions. Remember, we discussed that, yung parts ng interview.
Yes, ma'am.
Ayan, sabi ni Ian, always smile kahit nakabusangot yung interviewer. Yes, exactly. Sa mga hindi nakapanood ng video ko, do you know the mirror trick? Use the mirror trick. Kuha kayo ng salamin, itabi nyo sa laptop. Kung saan kita nyo siya, pero hindi kita ng interviewer. Para na-check nyo kung nakangiti kayo. And whatever happens, yun nga, kahit masungit yung interviewer, look at the mirror, and if you see yourself smiling, see how my voice transforms, like I'm not smiling. See how like it transforms. It's a little different. Like when you're smiling, it's different. So use the mirror trick. Yan, ginagawa ko po yan. Perfect. Okay. Nag-viral yung video ko na yan last year. So mga hindi, ang lamig ng kamay ko. It's over. Okay. So
True.
the people who are not using the mirror trick, use it. Okay. So, ayan. Then we went into the opener question. So, the typical question, tell me a little bit about yourself. Kaso dinagdagan ko ng konti. Tell me about yourself, nothing that's on your resume, and in 2 minutes. Which nagawa mo. I think you covered it in like just over a minute, which was excellent. You told me something about yourself, which is that um, you're a person who likes to learn things and you're open, etc. Ang problema is you kept repeating the same thing over and over.
So, doon pa, no, alam, minus points
Doon
pa
ka
lang doon.
nahalata na kabado. Okay.
Okay.
Ayan. So, and it's okay, but yung mga ganyang question, pwede mo i-rehearse. Kasi, pwede mo i-practice, di ba? Parang, gawa ka ng mga tatlong different versions. Like, tell me something about yourself. So, yun yung unang sagot mo is, well, I'm the kind of person who likes to learn things, etc., etc., etc. Yes. Sabi ni Ian, yes, record mo sarili mo. And then um, yung second version is, yes, I'm the kind of person where I'm very open about things. I'm very proactive. So, parang may tatlong version ka. Tapos, parang practicein mo siya, parang script, paulit-ulit. Pero, iniiba-iba mo ng konti para kunyari, ano siya, ang tawag dito, it sounds instantaneous. It sounds spontaneous. Pero sa totoo lang, medyo kabisado mo siya. Okay? Para hindi ka pa ulit-ulit. I mean, I think it's great. Like, all the things you listed are perfect. It's just that you kept saying the same thing over and over again. But it wasn't a big deal for me. And then I asked you, so why did you apply, to the company? Um, and then you said, well, my own. I saw that like one of the things you mentioned was my own goals are aligned with the company's goals. Tapos, I asked you an extended question. Diba na parang, what do you mean your own
So,
goals are
ako,
aligned?
ako na,
Hinuhuli kita
Lord,
doon.
wait lang, nagutal na ako sa isang word. Nakaigi na.
So, so you explained your own goals. That's fine. And I was like, where did you see the company goals? And sabi mo, sa website. Perfect. Pasado. Okay. So that's one thing you like, you know, if you don't really know the answer, there are things you can lie about in an interview. Okay? You can't lie about everything. Okay? Don't lie about things na pwede kang mahuli. Okay? Pero
Opo, Lord.
yung mga ganyan, yung mga puri sa company, mga ganyan. Oo, yung mga puri sa boss mo, yung huling boss mo, kahit hindi mo siya talaga gusto. Don't say that in an interview. Like, my boss was an absolute asshole. Don't say that in the interview. Like, that's one of the things you should be lying about in the interview. Diba? Kasi, if you tell the person is interviewing you, you know what, my boss was an asshole. I didn't want to work with him. Mga ganyan, ganyan.
Hmm? Nawala ata.
Wait lang may delivery lang. Wait lang. ka dyan. Jumi ka dyan. Alis ka dyan. So sorry, I'm a wife and a mommy, so pasensya na. Ayan. So we're talking about things you can lie about in an interview. Um, if you didn't have a good relationship with your last boss or your last client, you have to lie about it. Okay? Because you don't want to come off as problematic for the new company or the new client. All right? I have mga comments dito. This is very informative. Oh, I'm glad you're learning something. Ala na wala. Ayun, kasi may pumasok na call. Bad-mouthing your former employer can ruin your job prospects. Exactly.
Nasaan na yung classmate ko, Miss Jen? Yung isa.
Ewan ko eh. Di ba si Franz? Franz, ikaw yun, di ba? Ewan ko lang. True, mas
Ay,
mabuting sabihin mo na lang. Malay mo, next week. Sabihin mo na lang na mag-step up ka, ganon. Kasi pag nag-badmouth ka sa previous work mo, they'll think ganon din gagawin mo. Exactly. Kung ganyan ang taong pwede mo sabihin you wanna gain more experience. So, if you don't have any experience and then you're trying to fake it till you make it, tapos nakalagay dun sa job role or sa job description, kailangan mo with experience, mahuhuli ka. Okay. Last week we discussed the parts of the interview, which is the opener, then skills-based questions, yung questions around your resume, and then yung situational, and then yung closer. And that's what I did today, is a structured interview. Um, if I was to rate your interview, Neva, out of 10, I would give you like 8.5. 8.5 out of 10, 8.75 out of 10.
ang taas,
Okay. All in
ma'am.
all, it was really good. There were some opportunities, but all in all, would I hire you for a lead gen role? I would, because you seem details oriented. Tapos, based on your resume, marami ka rin, kahit 3 years lang experience mo, may experience ka na, related. Tapos parang, tinanong ko, yung kusang ka nalaglag, kasi tinanong ko sa'yo, what what do you enjoy, 'di ba, about that work? Sabi mo, I didn't really enjoy it. 'Di ba? But I enjoy helping people. Tulad ng lead gen, it's a very boring job. 'Di ba? Kasi paulit-ulit eh. May mga tao na
Opo.
yung personality nila bagay sa ganon, yung paulit-ulit. Tapos kahit nag-iisa lang sila, parang walang they're not talking to anyone, yung mga accountant, yan, mga ganyan. They work with numbers all day. They don't have to be talking to anyone. Yung mga web developer, they don't need to be talking to anyone. 'Di ba? They can just sit there and do their work all day by themselves. May mga tao na ganun. This is that kind of role. So I'm looking for someone na parang mas okay ka magtrabaho like on your own. 'Di ba? Kaya tinanong ko sa'yo, what do you enjoy about that role? And you said, well, I didn't really enjoy about the role. So, you didn't really
Doing the
enjoy
job
that.
mismo, ma'am. Hindi ko na-enjoy.
Pero
Kasi,
yung ini-enjoy mo is tumutulong ka sa
yung,
ibang
kasi
tao. So,
parang yun
parang
na ata
sinalba
yung,
mo, di ba?
yun ata yung bonus lang kasi supposedly yung sa role na yun, to support yung parang may support kami makukuha sa like barangay level, government.
Mm-mm.
Then during sa role namin, ma'am, wala talaga no, iniwan kami hanggang 9, hanggang gabi kami.
Oh,
Hanggang,
malamang. Yeah, I can
oh,
imagine.
sabi ko, oh my God, buti na lang. Parang yun lang yung bonus na, ay, nakakatulong kami sa iba. Okay na to. Okay na to.
Ayun. And I can tell that about you. And then when you told me more about your personal background, kaya ako nagtatanong like, oh, so, well, I don't want to be too intrusive. Kasi, so if you guys have not watched my series on the top 10 borderline illegal interview questions, may mga tanong, mga interviewer na, and I know a lot of you have experienced this, mali yung pagtanong. For example, yung hindi dapat nila tinatanong is, how much is your pay right now? How much was your previous pay? Okay,
Okay, ma'am.
like hindi nila pwedeng tanungin ng ganon, 'di ba?
May
So
experience
another
kasi.
thing that they shouldn't ask is yung mga person like your family, 'di ba? Yung mga, are you married? How many kids do you have? Mga ganon. Like, that's very intrusive. So,
True.
I was trying to get into it very softly. And that's why I asked you, what's your main motivator? You said, my family. So, yon opening na yon. Okay, your family. Why is that? So, ayan, nag-open up ka na. Nine po kami. And I was like, oh, okay, 9 kids or nine altogether. So I'm, oh, nine altogether, blah, blah, blah. So, the more I got to know about you personally, because as an interviewer, you're trying to piece together. Some interviews will ask about exact figure. Yeah, that's super unethical. That is
Talagang
super
interview nga
unethical.
yun, hindi structured. Hindi siya similar dito sa ano experience ko na right now.
Bakit? Ano
Medyo
ba yung...
malayo yung mga past ano. Meron mga okay, pero medyo malayo siya sa na-experience ko na. Sa interview natin, ma'am. Medyo,
Kung mahirap yung interview sa'yo na to today, so
hindi.
yung mga
Actually, mas comfortable ako dito sa, yun nga, baka nauna na ako ng nervous. Kasi sa previous interview na meron ako, ma'am, hindi siya ganito ka, like, paano ba natin sabihin to? In a good term. Structured.
yung iba parang kung ano-ano, parang feeling mo wala masyadong structure.
Wala, like, if wala kang, may mga job post kasi, ma'am, for example, for instance, nakalagay no experience needed. Pero mapapansin mo man yun sa interview like up na malaman na, ay wala ka pala related, wala ka palang experience dito. Parang minamadali nila tapusin yung interview.
Oo, kasi nag-judge na sila na parang, ay, hindi ka bagay. That's why, kaya karamihan ng mga clients ganon. Yung mga clients hindi marunong mag-interview. Karamihan. Okay? They judge you right away. Which is why, in the first, like, 2 minutes or 5 minutes, you have to make an impression right away on the client. 'Di ba? Parang, well, I have related, experience. Ganun agad. 'Di ba? So, pag medyo, sa clients, pag medyo pahiya-hiya kaya nga nauso yung fake it till you make it yung iba sa clients. 'Di ba? Because they know they have to hook the client within the first 5 minutes. Ang problema is you lied about your experience to the client. Naniwala si client, hinire ka. And then you have the job, you don't know what the fuck you're doing. So, kailangan pumasok ka ngayon sa TikTok or whatever. Paano ko gagawin to? Paano yung ganito? Paano yung ganyan? Which is mali rin naman. 'Di ba? So, um, I thought yung nung tinanong kita like where do you see yourself in 5 years, I always ask that question. Okay? And karamihan ng mga Pilipino, pag sinagot nila yon, hindi sila, wala silang detalye. Like yung sagot mo is really quite typical of people. Well, I hope to be helping the company, but that's bullshit. Okay? In 5 years, where do you really see yourself? Okay? Where do you see yourself? Kaya inulit ko siya. No, no. What's your goal income in 5 years?
Diyan na ako na ano man, parang nabulog din na mental block. Wala,
May
namatay.
na mental gap ka kanina doon sa situational. 'Di ba 'yan ang sinasabi ko, so yun pinakamahirap is yung
Opo.
situational, 'di ba? So, pero naintindihan ko kung bakit hindi ka nagsalita. But you could have done it better. Okay. But anyway, dun sa skills based, so based on your resume, um, I thought you did pretty well. Tapos but I had to repeat, where do you see yourself in 5 years? Okay? Marami po akong videos on answering that question. Yun, where do you see yourself in 5 years? Pag tinanong sa'yo ng interviewer, wag na wag nyo sasabihin na, I see myself running my own business. I see myself running my own marketing agency. Ina-applyan mo marketing agency. So, kakalabanin mo. Or, I see myself running my own VA agency. Ina-applyan mo sa VA agency. So, kakalabanin mo. That's the wrong way to answer that question. When somebody asks you, where do you see yourself in 5 years? Dapat aspirational. 'Di ba? Na, well, in 5 years, if you offer management positions, I hope to qualify for management position. Because I like to help people. So, 'di ba sabi mo, yung isang job mo, na-enjoy mo kasi
tumutulong ka sa iba. So, i-continue mo yung thought na yon. More or less consistent ka sa interview. Okay? The interviewer, their job is to piece together the story of you that makes sense and fits in with the company. 'Di ba? Kaya ang daming tanong just to piece together who are you? Who are you as a person? So, if there's a piece that doesn't fit, it probably means you're faking it. There's something that you're faking. 'Di ba? So, Neva, more or less consistent ka. So, where do you see
So,
yourself in 5 years? Well, like, pwede mo sabihin, well, I like helping people. So, if I can help more people in your company, like, for example, if I have my own team, then I can help my own team. I would like to do that in 5 years. So,
gusto ko sana
ganyan.
kanina i-mention Miss din yung like, balak ko sana magtayo ng ano, like, ng shelter for stray animals. So, ko parang, then, ayun na, na mental gap.
Ah, medyo personal
So,
kasi yon. So, when they ask
di
you,
ko
where
na,
do you see yourself in 5 years? Professional na question yon.
yun lang, medyo di ko na-build yung story agad sa utak, kaya na mental gap.
Pero at least, di ba, na-experience mo na parang ngayon, this is, if you're gonna be interviewed by a good interviewer, they're trying to piece together a picture of who you really are. 'Di ba? Tapos, yung, nung tinanong ko sa'yo, yung pagtanong ko sa'yo about weakness or obstacle, medyo malabo. Okay? Yung tanong ko sa'yo, talagang sinadya ko medyo malabo. And, it was kind of the same thing, yung sagot mo, like, I'm open to learning new things, blah, blah, blah. Which is kind of what you said at the beginning. So parang nirepeat mo lang. Um, but then you
Yeah.
kind of took control. And I liked that in your answer. And then when I asked you to describe yourself in 3 words, like that was probably the best part ng opening mo, na never stop trying. Because it's very consistent who you are. Okay? Obviously, magaling ka magsalita, you're very eloquent, and then plus, you never stop trying. So there you are. Tapos pag tinignan ko yung resume mo, marami kang training. So it really shows that you don't give up. Like, you're not the kind of person who's gonna give up. Um, Tapos dun tayo sa skills-based questions. Um, so that was the opener questions. So dun sa skills-based questions, um, you, tinanong ko sa'yo, what is a job you had that's related to the lead gen job that you're applying for? Yung minention mo is maganda. Kahit 2 months, na-explain mo naman yung 2 months, di ba? Ang problema is it's not on your resume. Okay, so um, I know that's a little bit iffy, but I understand why you brought it up kasi nga related siya sa job and na-explain naman mo naman yung 2 months. Yun lang, parang sa ibang interviewer, I understand why you didn't include it on the resume because maikli lang siya. But sa ibang interviewer, magtataka sila, bakit hindi mo in-include? Parang gano'n. Right? But it wasn't a big thing for me. Wasn't a huge deal. I mean, I'm glad that you brought it up. Tapos, when I asked you to talk about your job as contact tracer, you said the magic word that I love, which is profiling. Okay? Kasi yung lead gen na role, a lot of that is going to be profiling. Profiling for the right leads, qualified leads. 'Di ba? So when you said the magic word profiling, ding, 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 that's another point. Okay? Thus, you mentioned preparing reports for doctors. So more evidence na details-oriented ka na tao, which is kailangan dito sa role na to. And then, ayun, nung tinanong ko sa'yo to describe your last role, which is support personnel, and then, tinanong ko sa'yo, what did you enjoy about that job? Sabi mo, I didn't really enjoy it. Inisip ko, patay. You didn't enjoy that role. And a lead gen role is a lot of admin, okay? That's why I asked about admin. But then, sinalba mo, you're like, oh, I enjoyed it because I help people. I didn't enjoy the job itself, but I do enjoy helping people. Diba? Ayan. Sana lahat ng interviewer tulad mo. You know, yung ganitong feedback, I usually don't give it. Okay, if it's a normal interview, hindi kita bibigyan ng feedback ng ganito. So this is special. This is only for this month, and on Tuesdays, as kind of, Well, it's Happy Valentine's Day, everyone, by the way. I hope that you had a nice V-Day. Okay. Kung sana nakatanggap kayo ng, ano, whatever it is na tanggap nyo sa, special someone. Ako yung binigay ko sa asawa ko is bouquet ng isaw, tsaka fishball. Walang biro. Doon sa kabilang kalye, doon sa malaking ihawawan, nagbebenta sila ng bouquet. So, naka-banana leaf. Tapos, ano, tapos yung anak ko, cheese stick, tsaka kwek-kwek. Worth it naman po yung risk na lumabas ako sa comfort zone. Yeah, remember, embrace chaos. Chaos is gonna be your best friend as a VA or sa akin, samgyupong, social, kaya ba yun? Expensive. Ayan, mura lang sa akin, 300. Ayan. Um, and then you were very consistent. You said your dream was to work from home. And then pumasok ka na sa personal. I always like to do something personal. Like I like to ask questions. Like I like to get a impression of in a box lang. Okay. Pwede na yun. Um, I always like to get some information about you personally because it completes the picture of who you are as a person. 'Di ba? Doon mo makikita personally yung mga motivations. 'Di ba? Kung magtatagal tong tao na to sa amin. You don't just see that on a resume, right? Um, and then I asked you, what do you know about lead generation? Tapos, perfect yung sagot mo. You said, well, what I know is based on my training. Because you took a training and you mentioned, so again, more magic words. Facebook, Zillow, and then nag-offer ka pa. You were super, proactive. I can even show you. Parang yung, Google Sheet na kinreate ko, blah, 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 blah. Wala pong Feb 14 sa kalendaryo ko. Talaga. Every day, ganun. Uy, magastos yun. So you were very proactive with that Neva. Sobrang na-appreciate yung parang, I can even show you. Gusto ko yung mga ganyan, di ba? Parang, I can even show you samples of my work. I have a portfolio. Pag designer or dev, I have a portfolio of, the work that I've done the last 3 years, mga ganyan. So that is huge, okay? And then I asked you, what do you know about automating lead generation? You said, I didn't really know much about automating lead generation, which is fine. I just thought, I would ask in case may alam ka. I mean, the reason also why I asked is I wanted to see if you would bullshit me. Kasi yung iba, di ba, magkukunwari yan. Unfortunately for you, automation is one of my main skill sets. So I know a lot about automation. Mag-ingat kayo if you're bullshitting about something you don't know. Mamaya yung kaharap nyo, yun yung main skill set niya. And you're assuming that they know nothing. Okay. I would, I really appreciated si Neva. He was like, no, I don't know much about it. So he's like 70-30. Because honestly, the automation part, like I mentioned, was, yeah, we do have training for that, blah, 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 blah. And then, dun tayo sa situational. So, for the ones who were here last week, you remember the part of the interview na pinakamahirap is yung situational. Okay? Sabi ni Dream Rose, yung iba po, depende po talaga sa nag-interview ko, ano yung ways nila mag-interview. Yung mga with a degree in psychology, yung mga talagang yung nag-aral, okay, they should be pretty good at interviews. That's why yung mga HR, nag-hire sila ng may mga degree. It's like, 'di ba? Lalo na yung mga bata pa. So if you're like in your 20s and you're applying as an HR specialist, you actually already have kind of a background with your education. Now me, I'm not a BS psychology major, whatever, but my experience is like 9 years. Okay, interviewing people. And before that, sa BPO, I worked in fraud. So I'm used to having people lie to me every day. Can you give us a glimpse of what you usually ask if the work background is not related on being a VA? Like what job? Bago pa lang kasi ako, ma'am, natuto ng automation, wala pa sa lead gen. Yeah, that's fine. If CSR for credit card po ang background, what's the niche you suggest? Um, so if galing ka sa BPO, like honestly, you're geared for one thing, which is, and you have no other skills. Um, like you're geared for cold calling or appointment setting. Agency po ba ito? No, it's a simulation interview. So kind of try to make it a practice to scan or to read, guys. Okay, so this is the title of the live is simulation. So it's a simulation interview, okay? Um, and yung Tinosta natin is si Neva na nag-volunteer last week. Okay. So, dun tayo sa situational. So that's the hardest part of the interview because yung situational, um, sacrificial lamb. You know what? Your communication is good. See, your thought process, mabilis ka naman mag-isip. I don't see any reason why you should be insecure. Okay, if you do your interview just like that for clients, like that level of honesty, that level of yung parang proactiveness, hindi sobra, hindi kulang, hindi yung swak, 'di ba? I mean, there's a few opportunities but nothing major. Like everything really kind of minor. Like everything is more or less saktong sakto because that's how I can tell somebody's lying, right? It's either kulang sa detalye, sobra sa detalye. Like you just know your instinct is like if everything is spot on, they're probably telling the truth. Hey, good luck with that, Ivan, for your interview. May interview ako bukas with American client for a lead gen and sales position. Tamang-tama andito ko. So, if you're doing a sales position tapos phone sales, maghanda ka rin for role play. Okay? Maghanda ka rin para sa ganon. Because that's what I would do. If it was a sales role, I would say, here's the script, go away, learn it for 10 minutes, and then, ay buwaba na si Neva, ayaw na. Oh, thank you. What is it? Oh, pizza. Thank you. Did you have the cake? Oh. Regalo sa akin ng anak ko. Thank you. Di ba sa'yo chocolate? Bad boy. Ha? Pwede bukas naman. For dessert. If you want. If you really want to. Ayan. Benta mo nga sa akin yung broken glass. Yung mga sell me a pen, mga ganyan. Mga typical, mga luma na ng mga style yun. What's your pet peeve po when you interview? Taking notes here. So one of my pet peeves is people who are late and they try to sneak in to the Zoom meeting. Like, napapansin ka, hello, kitang-kita ka. The things that you would not do sa on-site interview, don't do it in a virtual interview. Can you sneak in sa on-site interview? Of course not. Diba? And another thing that I really hate is I know that I have an accent. Okay? It's not really my choice because OFW yung dad ko, so nadala kami sa ibang bansa. It's not like it's because of my parents' decision where we lived. Okay? I really hate it when people try to copy my accent. You know, it's not flattering. Okay? It's not flattering. I feel like inaasar mo ko if you try to copy my accent. So those are mostly my pet peeves. And, you know, of course, people lying to me in the interview, but, you know, I'm kind of used to that. It's not a huge deal. Like, if you're lying to me, I usually know, like, my instinct tells me that, parang hindi totoo. I might not know what you're lying about, but the fact that I know that you're kind of lying to me or may tinatago ka is already not a good impression. Okay? So just try to avoid it. Look, tulad si Neva, hinuhuli ko siya kanina eh, di ba? So, like, he passed the test. Because my own goals are aligned with the company goals. I was like, your own goals? What's that? Right? Company goals, where did you see that? Di ba? Hinuhuli ko siya. So, pasado siya dun. Yeah, exactly. Be honest. Just be honest, professionally honest. Okay? So dun sa situational, medyo mahirap yung, thank you, medyo mahirap yung unang question niya. If we hire you, what will your 30 days, first 30 days look like? And what will your first 60 days look like in this role? Of course, wala kang idea. 'Di ba? Kasi you don't know what is involved in this job. What I want to see here, sa situational kasi, baka bibigyan ka ng mga situation. Okay? That's designed to show how you think, how you plan. Like, nararatel ka ba? Parang ganon. So, yung mga situational binibigay ko usually, I want to see if you can think out of the box. Okay? Because nalaglag ako. Labas muna ako, then balik. Sige, no problem. Never. No worries. Hold muna tayo well, for your feedback. I'll just read some of the comments. Sabi ni Ian True, benta mo sa akin yung broken glass. Okay. Benta ko sa'yo yellow. Yellow na gamit. Joke. Be honest lang kasi, naririnig yun sa tone of voice mo. Yep. That's because I couldn't see Neva. So the first thing I heard was his tone of voice. Okay. Okay na. Ayan. Invite na kita. So for those who want to do the simulation next week, sino yun? Did you follow me and then I'll follow you? And then I have to know. So Mafuyo Sato, are you a brand new account? And then I have to get your resume, and then I have to have an idea of the roles that you've been applying to recently, and preferably, I prefer you to be on cam. So you can't go live unless merong kaatang over 1,000 followers. Yeah, so for situational questions, yeah, I have a lot of them for different roles, for EA, mga ganyan. So when I asked Neva, yung, where do you see, like, what is your plan in the first 30 days, the first 60 days? So you have to recognize, ano yung tinatanong ng interviewer? Ano yung skill na gusto niya makita? Gusto makita ang pagiging organized mo. Paano ka magplano? 'Di ba? Pag nagsa-start ka sa role mo, like your first 30 days, what does that look like? So I want I want to see how you will plan it in your head. Kahit rough lang na plan. Well, usually po kasi yung first 2 weeks I need to know about the company, and you mentioned that there was training, so I assume I will be in training maybe for 1 week or 2 weeks. So after that, then usually po, 'di ba, practice. So I will be asking a lot of questions. I'll be trying to get like the basic process together for the first 30 days, and then within 60 days I hope to become faster, 'di ba, at lead generation. I hope to para sana hindi maging super manual, like I will use yung ganitong klaseng functions in Google Sheets to make my job easier for me. Gusto ko makita yung ganun. Okay? Like how you think, how you will plan, how you will organize your job. How to recover po pag naka-mental block or may gap. Yan, we'll come to that kasi naka-mental block si Neva kanina. Do you have sample interview questions po and see client interview? So you can check my videos. Like I have a ton of videos on how to handle certain interview questions and how to save a bad answer. Mga ganyan. Saan po pwede mag-apply? So I'm not hiring anyone. Like this is a simulation interview. So yung first 30 days, first 60 days na sagot mo, Neva, was medyo malabo. And may tendency ka. So may baseline behavior ka na when you're not sure what to answer, and I feel like this might make you good at sales. Okay? Kasi mabilis ka mag-isip. Yun lang, yung default mo is sumasagot ka pero medyo malabo yung sagot mo. Like at the start, 'di ba? Well, I'm the kind of person, I'm open to this, I'm open to that. Yun yung default mo, dun ka umaatras pag hindi mo alam kung anong sasabihin mo. Okay? So may baseline behavior ka. And it was kind of the same when you answered the 30 days and then the 60 days. Bingo is the name. So, pero aware ka, yun yung baseline behavior mo na parang, pag hindi ko alam kung sasabihin ko, like, you start saying the same things again. Like, nagre-repeat. It's not bad, the things that you're saying. Like, I like the things that you're saying, which is why I feel like you might be good at sales, okay? Basta baseline behavior mo yun. And if it happens too much in an interview, mapapansin. If you do it like 3 to 4 times in an interview, talagang mapapansin ng interviewer. Okay, just so you know. And then I asked you, oh, I put you in a situation where, okay, so the client called you out and they said, okay, so we appreciate that you found 600 leads for us, kaso yung quality is not great. Diba? I thought that your answer there was spot on. It was excellent. But dito ka ano, dito ka medyo nagkaka-mental block ka na dito. Okay? Because it's a very confrontational situation. Okay, it's a very confrontational situation. Pero nung sumagot ka, parang hindi ka nagsalita na ilang seconds, so may gap, 'di ba? Which was very uncomfortable because I wasn't sure what was going on, kung nawala ka or ganyan. Pero nung bumalik ka naman, bagyo, 'di ba? Well, I will ask the client, what kind of leads would I like to see different results? That was excellent, okay? Ang advice ko lang doon, kung tatahimik ka, sabihin mo kay interviewer, I'm sorry, I'm still thinking of my answer. Just give me a minute. Ganyan, 'di ba? Set my expectation ni interviewer. Is it only for those who can go on live? Preferably, yes. Okay. So, I think you can go live if may parang 1,000 plus followers ka. Yung si Neva today, like, it was like very off the cuff. So, we'll see. Let me know. Like, leave a comment in one of my videos or follow me and then DM me. Dami ko na ng notes. Friend, may replay ito. Lalagay ko sa YouTube. Okay lang ba? I think you should be proud of the interview. Okay? So, okay lang ba that I put it on YouTube? If you don't want me to put it on my YouTube channel, I won't put it on my YouTube channel. But I think you should be proud that you like to put it out there in public. Like, oh, that's my interview. Yeah, that's me answering. Diba? Parang ganon. So, yung sagot, so if tatahimik ka, okay, if na-mental block ka, you have to say what's going on. Diba? Na, oh, please give me a minute. I'm thinking of my answer. And I think that's fine. Diba? Ngayon, if the interviewer is impatient, like how long is it gonna take? Parang gano'n, wag ka maratil. Diba? Ikaw yung tama, sila yung mali. Because you were polite and you told them what's going on. Ngayon, kung bastos yung interviewer, like, don't take it badly. Okay? Either talagang masama ugali ni interviewer or it's a technique. Diba? Yung mga interviewer, marami silang mga technique yan. Like, why would they say that? Maybe to see if you get angry quickly. Diba? How patient you are. To kind of test your patience. Maraming mga techniques ang mga interviewers. So, just so you're aware. So, whatever happens, wag kayo mararatel. Diba? Sa ugali ni interviewer. Maybe masama yung ugali niya. Maybe it's just a technique. So, keep that in mind. Maybe they're just testing you. Right? Especially yung mga customer support role. So, hindi maiwasan. Like, we're gonna encounter mga calls or yung mga customers or yung mga chat na hindi maganda. It's not polite. 'Di ba? So, magiging bastos yung kausap mo. And karamihan sa atin galing sa BPO. Alam nyo yan. So, maybe it's a test by the HR person. They're testing to see how you will handle some rudeness. So, wag kayo mapipiko na. Gen Z, mga Gen Z in particular. So I did like a series on Gen X, Millennials, and Gen Z last week. You might want to watch those videos. Kahit sa FB, kahit sa FB, like, oh, unknown, you made it. Ba't tumigil ka kakasagot sa mga ano, sa mga post ko? Sayang yung engagement. Sagot ka pa doon. So, yeah, if you want to watch the videos on, Gen Z, because I've interviewed a lot of mostly millennials, a lot of millennials. I've interviewed some Gen X, Generation X. I'm a Generation X, I'm 49. And I started interviewing a lot of Gen Z, siguro mga last 2 to 3 years. Okay. So, you might want to watch those videos. Um, what I want to say right now, yung mga Gen X, hindi ako nag-aalala kasi inabuso na yan ng mga magulang. Okay? Tigasin ng mga Gen X sa interview. Is the problem with Gen X is a lot of them think they know a lot. Like, they know everything. Okay? Pero yung mga Gen X, kahit ano, insultuin mo sa interview, okay lang. Di ba? Kasi tigasin yung mga yan. They raised themselves. Okay? Gen X is people who are born from 1965 to 1980. Okay? Yung mga millennial, okay? Tsaka mga Gen Z. Kapag nang iinsulto ang interviewer, just think of it, oh, it's a technique. They're testing me. Okay? Don't drop out of the interview. Kayo ang talo doon. Okay? Kayo ang bumigay doon. Yeah. So especially the millennials. And like I said in my video, my heart goes out to you millennials. So mga millennials, they're born yeah, so mga Gen Z. So mga millennials, they're born like 1980. Shit. I forgot my years already. Up until 1997. Yun yung last year. So let's say 81, 82 yung millennial until 1997, di ba? So, anong feedback nyo sa interview? You should watch my videos. So name of my YouTube channel, the same, at the VA interviewer. So just type that in, yung mga replays I usually put on there. Neva, kung ayaw mo ilagay yung interview mo on my YouTube channel, you have to tell me. Okay? But if I were you, I would be proud to put it out in public because it actually is a really good interview. Yung mga millennials, they're kind of the lost generation. It's like, segue lang tayo before I continue with your situational. The millennials, you're kind of coddled by your parents, by your Gen X parents. So, partly, talagang to blame is yung mga magulang nyo. Okay? Kaya medyo emo kayo kasi, pinrotektahan ng magulang. Like, we did not raise you for the real world. Okay? And we are partly to blame. Okay? But the great thing about millennials, unlike Gen Z, so millennials are like Gen X, they tend to be tech savvy. Some of them are tech dependent. Okay? Gen Z, they tend to be tech dependent. Like, tanggalin mo yung Wi-Fi, parang pinatay mo ng isang Gen Z. Diba? Parang ganon. So the millennials, like a lot of, in general, there's a lot of millennials that are insecure. Okay? Because when you woke up to the real world, it's like, nagulat kayo. Kasi, pinrotektahan kayo, minahal kayo ng mga magulang. They didn't prepare you for the real world. And when you went out into the real world, na parang napukpok kayo sa ulo, parang ganon. Right? It was kind of a shock. I had one interview where umiyak sa akin yung applicant. It's not because of it's not that I was being mean. I was actually just asking, so why did you leave your last client? And I was just listening. Umiyak siya. Millennial yun. Okay. That's how sensitive the millennials are. Yeah, so the great thing about millennials, they're tech savvy. They have a social conscience. Yung mga millennials. Yung mga Gen X, walang pakialam. Like, we don't give a fuck, honestly. Like, Kaya ganito ako, I don't give a fuck. I don't promise to be nice, okay? Is your mother always nice? No, okay? Think of me like your mom, okay? I will protect you like a mama bear protects you, but you get out of line, I'm gonna smack you upside the head. I never promised I would be nice because I'm a Gen X. We don't give an F, okay? You mga millennials, they care a lot. Okay, they have a social conscience. They're like the hippies from Woodstock. Diba? What was her reason why she left her client? It was a guy. It was a he. Umiyak siya sa akin. Diba? Kasi yung huling client niya, 3 months na siya hindi binabayaran. Tapos kinuha pa niya yung asawa niya with the client. So, dalawa sila. 'Di ba? Na hindi sumisweldo for 3 months. So, naiyak siya talaga. And I was just asking. I was like, oh my God, what did I say? But umiyak, 'di ba? But I was just asking, so why did you leave your last client? Like, what was the circumstances? Yung parang ganon. Millennial yun. Okay. Pag Gen X, hindi yan iiyak. Mga tigasin. Yung mga Gen Z, medyo tigasin din, but in a different way, right? So yung mga millennials, a lot of you guys kind of, you're a little bit insecure. There's no reason for you to be. Okay, a lot of you are super talented. You don't know how talented you are. Okay, honestly. Medyo feeling nyo na overshadow kayo ng ibang Gen X because a lot of Gen X are still working. They're in the upper management positions at their ages. And, the millennials, they kind of feel a little bit, overshadowed. There's no reason for you to be. You have no idea just how much you can do. And you have a conscience as well. So put all that together, and then squirt a little bit of I don't give a fuck juice in there. You're perfect. Okay. Yung mga Gen Z naman, what I like about Gen Z is like they don't like labels. Like, I don't want to be labeled as this. I don't want to be called a valley girl. Ayaw nila ng labels. They want to be their own person. Okay, so they're very strong personalities. My daughter yung anak ko is like cross na, kasi last year siya ng first year ng Gen Z. 'Di ba? So, yung anak ko, she has the sympathies and the beliefs of a millennial, but ugali is Gen Z. Like, sobrang derecho magsalita. 'Di ba? And that's what I like about Gen Z. Like, they go for it. Okay? Ang problema sa Gen Z, because of the technology, a lot of them, like some of them tend to be lazy, right? It's because of the technology. Gen Z was born into technology and social media. You're the first generation to be born. That's why, and lalo na yung Gen Alpha. Kaya yung AI, yung makakaintindi niyan is Gen Alpha, right? Gen Z, you super understand social media. That's why you don't give a fuck about it. 'Di ba? Unlike the millennials na gusto nila yung Instagrammable, yung mga pictures, 'di ba? Yung mga authentic, 'di ba? Mukhang authentic na perfect sa social media. Gen Z, you understand social, like you really understand it, which is why you don't really care about it. Okay? My problem with Gen Z is you don't finish anything. Like, out of all the people I've interviewed, yung mga Gen Z, they tend not to finish the interview. If they hear something that they don't like, they're gone. So yung focus ng Gen Z is a problem. Because you have the concentration span of a fly. Okay? You have to learn how to finish what you start. Yung mga Gen X, dahil inabuso yan, okay? Like, they will finish what they start. Diba? Because they don't give a fuck. Like, I started it out. What the fuck? I'll finish it. I might as well. Nandito ako. Okay? Yung mga Gen Z, like, for example, I'll give an example. I was interviewing this Gen Z girl, and then yung hinihingi niya is $8 an hour. Kaso, wala siyang experience as a VA. Right? And then you're applying to a marketing agency that specializes in automation. We usually hire people with experience. Okay. However, this role opened up where we're looking for trainees. So, nagpupuling for trainees, let's say. And all I asked her, and I told her, I don't think $8 an hour is a possibility because you don't have any experience. Diba? So you tell me, like, I'm giving you a chance to tell me why we should give you $8 an hour. What makes you $8 an hour? Hala, si bakla. Biglang umalis sa Zoom call. Diba? Narinig niya lang na parang, ay, hindi ako kaya bigyan ng $8 an hour. Alis na ako. That's Gen Z in a nutshell. Your focus is like you have to work on your focus. Finish what you start, Gen Z. At least finish the fucking interview. Or kung ayaw niyo na talaga, tell the person who's facilitating the interview, if you're not going to give me $8 an hour, I really thank you for the opportunity, but I think I will explore my other options. Thank you so much. Magpaalam man lang kayo. 'Di ba? Ganun ang Gen Z. And plus, probably the biggest weakness for Gen Z is the instant gratitude, instant gratification. Okay? And I'm not saying it's your fault. Like, it's partly kind of the fault of technology because, like, lahat sa inyo, like, is almost everything is instantly available. Okay? Not like us. Like, okay, example pelikula. Okay? Pag sinabi ng tatay ko dati, oy, manood na tayo na sine ng linggo. So, what my brother and my sisters would do and I would do, we would go to the newspaper. Tapos titignan namin yung oras ng sinehan ng, halimbawa, if may schedule na ng sine for Sunday. 'Di ba? And if, let's say, it's Thursday, then we have to wait until Sunday. Okay? Nowadays, you don't even have to wait. Like Wakanda Forever, it's already out on Disney Plus. You don't need to wait. Food is just a text away, right? You don't have to wait for your birthday to get a birthday cake. 'Di ba? Kaya sanay kayo sa instant gratification. I want it now. That's the worst trait of Gen Z. And unfortunately, hindi po lahat nakukuha agad-agad. Tapos pag nasanay kayo na, I want $8 an hour. Pag hindi binigay, wala na. They won't finish what they start. You know what, guys? There are things that you just need to wait for. Hindi nyo madadaan sa dahas, 'di ba? Hindi nyo madadaan sa reklamo. Like, for example, a career. Career as a VA or freelancer. That takes years. Yung iba dito, yan, si Kim, yan, si Mix and Matches, si Ladi. It takes you years to build a career. It's not like ordering Grab food and your career is available. Niluto na yan, andyan na. A career takes years. You have to learn to wait. You have to learn to build. You have to learn the value of waiting and constructing and building. Building your relationship with your bank. Diba? Siyempre mag-start kayo sa savings account. And then, pag na-build nyo na yung relationship with your bank, you have, may laman yung savings account, maybe you apply for a car loan. Maybe you apply for a credit card. Diba? So you have your relationship with your bank. That takes years to build. Unless you're like, anak ng milyonaryo, which I'm sure most of us are not. 'Di ba? Na binigyan ka ng account. Ito yung account mo. Ito yung laman, 'di ba? It doesn't happen like to most people like that. That's why Gen Z, you have to learn. Parang i-determine nyo, ito makukuha ko kaagad, ito hindi. Matuto kayo mag-plan. Matuto kayo maghintay. Okay, there are just some things that you cannot order and be instantly gratified. Okay, I did a series of videos on interviewing millennials, Gen Z, and Gen X, and I feel that it's a balance. There's some negative things, there's some positive things, and it's just based on my experience with interviewing the different generations. Yung boomers, may na-interview na ako na boomers, konti lang. Diba? They're usually not motivated to, work at home. Not a lot of them. Iba rin yung ugali ng baby boomers. So, okay. So So, ayan. So, tuloy natin yung feedback ni Neva because I have a shift at around 9:30. Ayan. So, sa situational mo, I think or well, you did pretty good. And then I asked you about your 3 years working experience kasi nagbi-build up ako dun sa ideal work environment. Okay? So, yung ideal work environment mo, when I said describe, when I use the word describe, it's like paint me a picture. I want to see more of your communication skills because you are doing so well. What happened was, I think you did well with describing your ideal work environment, and it's very consistent with who you are. Okay? Pero nag-default ka ulit dun sa baseline mo. Yeah. Everybody helps everyone. It's helpful, blah, blah, blah. I'm able to learn things, mga ganyan. It's not negative at all. It's not a criticism at all. Basta aware ka, yun yung baseline mo na behavior. Doon ka nagde-default. Doon ka nagre-retreat pag hindi mo alam ang sasabihin mo.
Opo.
Diba? It's not a bad thing. It's actually it's a very safe baseline. 'Di ba? At least hindi ka tumatahimik altogether. May mga ganun eh. Hindi na nagsasalita. Yun yung baseline nila. Kasi naratel na. Parang ganon. Ikaw, sa totoo lang eh, I didn't see na madali kang maratel. But you have to be aware when you're saying the same thing over and over again. But yeah, I thought you answered that pretty well, yung ideal work environment. Now, yung
Oo.
closing, ano na? Ano na?
Akala ko I did like chakat wala yung performance ko mo. So,
It was
yun yung
pretty
ano ko.
good. I would I would score you, yun nga, 8.5, 8.75 out of 10. The eloquence, which is like how you communicate, I thought was excellent. The tone was really good. From the time you came in, your tone was very consistent. It was very friendly. It was very open. I think I got a good idea of who you were. Yung mga closing questions. So yung mga closing question, and I'm gonna give you yung parang guideline for interview. Okay, I'm gonna put that in G Drive. I'm gonna share that with your email address, so you have access to that when you apply for your next few roles. There's no reason why you shouldn't get hired. I don't know why, diba? Baka namimili ka lang. Okay. Ayan. Yung mga closing questions, pag may closing questions yung client, magandang sign yan. Kasi yung mga closing questions, pag hindi sila interesado sa'yo, there's probably not a lot of closing questions. That's the truth. Okay? Yung mga closing questions, how soon can you start? Are you familiar with US time zones? If the client has closing questions, you take all those as a positive. Diba? Tapos yung sagot mo, well, I can start today. Again, proactive. So, I thought it was really brave that you said that, well, I can start today. But then, diba, sabi ng interviewer, no, well, our time frame is 24 to 48 hours. We still need to do the assessment, blah, blah, blah. And then I asked, are there any special circumstances? So, I always ask that. Naging practice ko na yan. Kasi working with VAs, hindi usually ino-open ng VAs yan na parang, ay kasi nagte-therapy yung anak ko eh. Kasi, I'm iglesia. So, meron kaming special days na blah, blah, blah. Kung pwede lang po, yung off ko is weekends, mga ganyan. Or off ko at least Sunday, mga ganyan. So, that's why I try to open that up to be sensitive. Like, are there any special circumstances? Like, to do with your religion, to do with any practices that you have, or something that will affect the schedule. Diba? So, sabi mo wala naman, which is good. And then, I asked you the very last question, which most clients usually do. Do you have any questions for me? Okay. Karamihan ng Pinoy, they say, no questions right now. Which is, for me, try to have at least one question. Because when you have at least one question, it shows interest. And this is the last impression you will leave the client. This is the last question. So you want to leave the client with a very good impression. Diba? So, kaya nga, magtanong ka kahit one question. Doesn't matter how simple the question is. Eh, ikaw, ang dami mong question, which is great. Okay? Because it shows interest. Okay? Yung tinanong mo sa akin, binalik mo lang yung question sa akin, what will make you want to hire me? Yung ibang interviewer, they'll be like, naging ano ka ba? Are you being a wise guy? Parang ganon. Pero para sa akin, natawa lang ako kasi parang, maybe you really want to know why we would want to hire you, 'di ba? And what the question you had about what do I have to look forward to? Like that's an excellent question, 'di ba? To ask what do I have to look forward to? Kasi the fact that you use those words, it means you are looking forward to working with the company. And then you said those magic last words, this is my priority. This job application, this is my priority. Those are magic words. So in a real interview, yung mga magic words, like you really want to touch on all those things that you said in the simulation interview. 'Di ba? I don't feel like umover. Kasi yung iba, pag pumuri ng kumpanya, parang sobra-sobra. 'Di ba? Which makes you seem fake. Because I heard your company is fantastic. You're a Fortune 500 company. And I hear that, all my friends talk about this company really well. Wag mo sobrahan. 'Di ba? Pero yung kahit isa lang yung sabihin, like, which is what you did, Neva, which, this job is my priority. This job application is my priority. This company, my application at this company, this is my priority. 'Di ba? Kahit makatatlong interview ka sa isang linggo, tapos sabihin mo yan lahat. Sa lahat ng interview mo. Maganda yon. Wag yung puri sa kumpanya, sobra-sobra. Sakto lang. 'Di ba? So, yeah, I mean, more like I would be really proud of this interview if I were you. This is what I would bring to an actual interview. Right? May ibang reaction ka ba sa feedback?
Ngayon po talaga ako Miss Jen. Sa experience na to, first time ko talaga lumabas sa sa comfort zone ko na, like, sa social media pa talaga.
Yeah.
Ang dami ko natutunan, to be honest.
Yeah, and imagine added pressure, you had like up to 60 people watching you. Tapos nagbibigay ng mga reaction dyan sa baba.
Oo, ma'am. May comment natin kanina na distract ako.
Na medyo na ano ka.
Happy ko. Wait lang. Balik ako. Wait muna. Ano pala interview?
Yeah, nakaka-rattle yun. Kasi ang dami nanonood. But you, more or less, you just kind of ignored it. Okay, which is great, which shows me that you can focus. Okay, so yeah. So for those who, so hopefully over 1,000 followers, yung mga gusto sumali sa simulation interview next week. So I'm only doing this every Tuesday for the month of February because I'm giving back, because I reached 5,000 followers last January, and this is kind of my way of giving back, and this is like, my specialty. So which is interviewing and profiling people. So, walang gustong umakyat dati. Okay. Tapos, ang sacrificial lamb natin, ika nga, kay Neva, very bravely decided to sumalang sa simulation interview. So, I really have to thank you so much for stepping out of your comfort zone. I think you should do it more often because you seemed really put together. You seemed prepared, even though you say it's out of your comfort zone. Yeah, there were a couple of opportunities, but you know what? It's no big deal.
Actually, Miss Jen, yung previous live ata yung pag na-mention mo, like, do the things that that scares you. Parang yun ata yung naging motivation ko para, sumalang.
Yes po. Yeah, so if you're working as a VA or freelancer, masanay ka na sa magulo.
Opo.
Yeah.
Thank you, Miss Jen.
Embrace chaos, which you did today and very well. So I really appreciate you. Thank you so much. I-share ko sa yung parang interview guide. And then, may shinare ba ako sa'yo dati na training? Yung self-paced training? Wala. Basta share ko sa'yo yung mga training on
Meron,
SMM,
meron
FPADS.
ata may parang how
Meron.
to show, pero not saying like may training pa rin. Parang yung, remember when may post ka like, comment, PM me for,
Mm-mm.
for
Oo.
guidelines.
Oo,
Hmm,
yung parang comment, blah, blah. Last
opo,
year pa yun.
opo.
Oo. Anyway, I'll share the rest of it if
Okay,
that's what you
ma'am.
want. I'm gonna wish you the best on your succeeding interviews. Let me know pag malapit ka ng interviewin for an actual interview.
Hmm.
Or gusto mo send sa akin yung job ad para bigyan kita ng feedback. Oh, you want to do this sa interview mo. They're gonna be asking you about this. 'Di ba?
Hello, thank you. Jen.
Oy, Neva.
Plastic na.
Enjoy.
And thank you. Thank you very much.
You are so welcome. All right, take care. Tsaka, so next month I'll be hindi ko pa alam paano gagawin. Yung training for marketing automation, hopefully it's gonna be next month. So, ayan, sabi ni James, see you. Congrats, Neva. Good luck on your VA journey. You have the makings of a rock star VA, honestly. Like, I wouldn't really worry if I were you. It's only gonna be a matter of time, before you find the right fit. Maybe namimili ka. So, which is tama rin naman because you want to make sure that, di ba yung sabi ko sa'yo at the start of the interview, make sure that you want to be part of that company. If you've heard a lot of bad things about the company, like, maybe it's not the right fit. Palagay po nito sa YT channel mo. Yes po, I will put that in. And yung experience ko po as a VA is 4 months po. Pwede na po ba ako makipag-negotiate ng salary? Well, depends. So, what is your negotiating tool? Okay, so tomorrow I'll be doing a series of videos, tatlong videos on how to ask your client for more money. So, that might be something you're interested in. So today I did a series of videos on parang kung nasa VA agency ka, kagigising ko lang, dilan lalagay ko sa YouTube channel. Yung pag natapos yung processing ng replay na to, lalagay ko sa YouTube. Okay. One of the best po yan, si Miss Jen. Hoy! Hey, Poi, what's up? What's the name of my YT? My YT channel is at the VA interviewer. So exactly, like my profile, at the VA
Jen,
interviewer.
yung,
Gumawa ako ng ay, go Neva.
hindi ko pa rin mahanap yung LinkedIn nyo, ma'am.
Yung YouTube,
Hindi, yung LinkedIn.
ay,
Sa
yung
VA
LinkedIn
interview
ko.
pa. Oo, hindi ko ma-connect. Nakailang
What?
search ako.
Hanapin kita under
Name.
your name. Inat naman
Dinadahan-dahan ko na din
kita.
yung dinadahan-dahan ko din yung
Ay,
resume,
ito.
yung resume.
Ayan, lagyan ko na lang to. Ayan. Ayan, sinendan kita ng email.
Miss Jen.
Oy, thank you. Thank you, Bella. I really appreciate it. Thank you so, so,
Bella.
so, so much. Good luck charm kita. So, ayan, one of my inspiration to upskill. Yes, yan si Poi po. So, he gives away, palaging may live si VA Hacks PH. He has links for training and links for jobs. And may nakita akong trabaho actually sa LinkedIn. They're looking for, Bella, baka gusto mo. They're looking for parang real estate something. So pag nahanap ko, email ko sa'yo, Bella. Okay. I did a series today on sa mga VAs working for VA agencies. Kasi yung iba, they want to know how much their client is paying the VA agency. Now, I don't know why you want to know that. Okay. Kung aanuhin mo yung information na yon, So if you want to know how much your client is paying for you, as let's say the full-time client, for whatever reason, you don't need to ask the VA agency. Okay? Baka magmukha ka pang masama sa VA agency. Siyempre, tatanungin ng VA agency sa'yo, oh, siyempre, tatanungin ng VA agency sa'yo, oh, bakit gusto mong malaman yun? Diba? Ngayon, if you ask your client, how much are you paying for me? How much are you paying the VA agency for me as your VA? Or baka ikaw nag-handle ng emails ni client, nakita mo yung email. Kaya galing sa VA agency, nakita mo yung bill ng client mo is, I don't know, $2,500 a month. Yun yung binabayad ng client mo. Eh, natatanggap mo lang is like $700. Siyempre, sumama yung loob mo, di ba? Di ba? For those of you who don't know, what you can do to find out is go to the VA agency's website. You don't have to ask the VA agency, you don't have to ask the client. Kasi mamaya, sumbong ka pa ng client dun sa VA agency. Yung VA ko, tinatanong, magkano binibill nyo sa akin? Bakit? Don't you tell your VAs how much the blah, 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 the blah, blah, blah. Okay, para hindi kayo mag-create ng gulo. Go to the VA agency's website. You'll find out how much. Parang ano parang namimili ka ng Nike slides. If I want to buy Nike slides from Nike, I go to Google and I search for Nike PH. Kasi V-Day. I almost forgot your Tuesday live. So I'm only doing Tuesday live for this month. Okay, so simulation interviews. The people who want to do simulation interviews and hopefully you have like over 1,000 followers para pwede naka-video. Okay, you can either comment one of my recent videos or, if you follow me, I follow you, then DM me. Usually, yung ginawa ko kay Neva, hiningi ko yung resume. Tapos hiningi ko yung mga jobs na ina-applyan niya recently. So we can kind of set it up. And I can set your expectations if you want to be in a simulation interview. Okay? Your simulation interview might be very different from yung kay Neva. And by nature talaga sa interview, medyo matanong ako. Yeah. Ayan. So, sa mga interested, just either comment on my videos and then we'll communicate via email or, DM me. Okay? If that's something, because I saw that there are a few people who want to be, part of the simulation interview. Okay, so tomorrow, sa mga nagtatanong para makakobra ng mas malaking pera sa clients nila, I'll be doing like 3 videos on how to ask your clients for more money. How? When? What are the signs you should be looking for? Okay. So, may tanong ba? May ibang reactions to sa interview ni Neva?
Kayo mag-react. Magpasalang na kayo.
Oo, libre daw mag-react. Okay. Kahit yung mga haters, pwede rin.
Pasalang na kayo, guys. Grabe yung lamig ng katawan ko.
Nalalamig ka pa hanggang ngayon? No.
Naman, ganyan. Ngayon, okay na. Medyo madami akong na-note na
Well, very informative. Yep. No
thank you,
problem.
ma'am.
You're welcome. Siyempre, iba yung interview kapag yung mga medyo bihasa o yung mga nag-a-apply for management post, iba yan. Tapos yung mga applying for promotion within the company, iba yan. Oh, dong. Sino yung mga, may balak mag-apply for like a promotion within the company? Or you're applying for like a higher role, like operations manager, mga ganyan. Oy, sabi ni Wohoy, nice, Neva. Oh. Follow kayo kay Neva, ha? Nakita nyo how he aced the interview. No, Bok. No, baby. Yung mga nag-a-apply sa VA agency. So, VA agencies, they can usually afford to hire professional interviewers. So, yung mga professional interviewers, alam nila yung mga technique sa mga interview. Yung mga STAR method, yung mga ganyan, mga tinuturo ng mga VA coaches, alam na mga, yung mga, mga HR sa VA agency yan. How can we ask for a raise in a nice way? Medyo not direct on call. That's what I'll be doing tomorrow. So I'll be doing 3 videos on the appropriate ways and times to ask for more money. What are the signs you should be looking for? Okay? Ano yung negotiation tool that you need to bring to the table? So I'll be doing some videos tomorrow on that para mas documented. Sabi ni Neva, parang palagi tayo nakatambay sa same live na all may client na. Uy, kaya mo yan, Neva. It's just a matter of time, honestly. Thank you. Thank you rin. I have a shift in like 27 minutes. So, any other reactions? Violent reactions? It's fine. Yung mga hindi nag-check, how do you manage time management? Well, you learn to ignore what you need to ignore. It's that simple. Like in your mind, you're like, importante ba to? Pok. Hindi importante, like, just don't focus on it. That's it. Mamili ka. Oh, you're welcome, James. Anong klaseng VA ka ba, James? So si Wohoy is social media manager. Okay. So I'm gonna mention it because I mentioned it earlier. Baka next month, meron na kaming paid training from marketing automation. Yung mga binlock ko na mga profiles and your fake accounts, you're not invited. Okay, sorry. Hindi kayo magbe-benefit from that. But for everyone else, like when it's time, I'll announce it next month. Yung marketing automation training. Learned something today. Or excellent. Okay. So yung mga interview tips and all that stuff, all that content on TikTok and on my YouTube channel, that's free. If you want to ask me if I can teach you to become an interviewer, that's kind of not the same niche. And if one of your job responsibilities is to interview people, dapat, excuse me, yung kumpanya where you're at, dapat may nag-train sa inyo or may naggagabay sa'yo. Diba? Usually isn't that how it kind of works? Na parang may mas senior na parang inaano ka. I don't really teach people how to become interviewers because, that's not my niche. But I think if you watch a lot of my videos, you can probably learn how I interview people. Oh, dapat may mentor ka within your company. So the fact that you're looking for a mentor sa labas ng kumpanya, it kind of tells me already na parang baka hindi masyadong maganda yung culture inside sa kumpanya. Because why are you looking for a mentor outside the company? Diba? Dapat yun yung first line of is yung mentor mo na binigay ng kumpanya. Right? Usually yung mga HR specialists na bagito, they have a mentor or they have a supervisor, parang ganun, who will guide you. Kasi mas experience. And yung supervisor nyo is bihasa na dun sa niche or dun sa area or yung mga profile ng VAs or freelancers that you're interviewing. So, I think they would do a better job mentoring you than I would. Because your niche is maybe not my niche. Okay, what have I interviewed for? Mostly real estate and digital marketing VAs. So that includes people who are, cold callers, appointment setters. I've interviewed them. I've done interviews for internal promotions. Yung mga project manager, OM, na-interview ko na yung mga ganyan. Media buyer, web developer, mga designer, graphic designer, UX designer, um, people who do, yeah, media buyers, people who do paid ads, people who do organic ads. What else? Mga email marketing VAs, mga automation VAs. I've interviewed them all. Okay? Paano po mag-make ng contact number kung galing sa ibang country at nandito ka po sa Pilipinas? So there's a lot of tools that do that. You need to subscribe to something like Ring Central or what's that one? Yung sa Google, parang Google number. Kahit yung Skype, may plans yung Skype. So, palalabas like for example, when I had a Ring Central number, lumalabas doon is California number kasi nasa California yung client ko dati. But you have to subscribe to that. Like, you can't just take any old number and make it appear as if nasa US ka. You have to subscribe to what they call a VoIP or a VoIP number, voice over IP number. Dream Rose, thank you, ma'am, for sharing your knowledge and giving us hints on what we expect on an interview. Yeah. So, you know, my content is free on interviews and even like, insights on the VA agency industry because I've been there for like 10 and a half years. Okay. I feel that talagang may butas dun sa mga bagito na pumapasok because you guys don't always get the truth. Okay, and if you know anything about me, maybe I'm not nice all the time, but I do have integrity. Okay, I think that the truth is probably the most precious thing, right? That you could gift to someone. Okay, yung ibang tao, iharap mo sa kanila yung katotohanan, hindi nila kayang harapin. 'Di ba? Like, honesty is a gift that you cannot give to cheap people. 'Di ba? 'Di ba? Kasi minsan yung katotohanan is masakit. But I will give it to you because you deserve that. You deserve to know the truth. Para hindi ka nagsisinungaling sa sarili mo. Parang mamaya later on, malalaman mo, parang hindi pala ganun, nagsinungaling siya sa akin. Like, masakit yun. Anong mas masakit? Hindi sabihin sa'yo yung totoo, lokohin ka, and then later on you find out, or masaktan ka sa the truth right now na parang, ay, hindi pala ako pasok as VA yet. Hindi pa pala ako pwede mag-VA. It's good for you to know that now so you can prepare. Diba? I don't do this channel for me. Okay? I just think na may butas talaga. Where a lot of you newbies, like, you're not getting the complete, like, picture of what it's like working as a VA or a freelancer. Like, there's a lot of people who will tell you that, sige, take mo lang yung course ko, you'll be able to work as a VA, blah, 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 blah. Diba? Or yung iba, sige, may mentor kita. Yung pala, gagamitin ka as VA in their VA agency. Pero yung rate bibigay sa'yo is $2 an hour. There's always people with ulterior motives. Diba? Now, whether you believe me or not, that's really up to you. I can't control how you think. I can control what I tell you, which is the truth for me. Okay? And I can tell you that right now because I'm not selling you anything. Like, I don't care. Ngayon, yung course next month, like, it's not going to be for everybody, honestly. Marketing automation is usually a skill set you want kapag nasa management ka. Para hindi ka super nag-OT. Para hindi manual lahat ng ginagawa mo. Okay? I don't know if it's a course that I would recommend for a newbie because it is kind of, medyo complicated siya na subject. Ayan. Your thoughts, Paul, for those who prefer to hire outsider to bring in fresh ideas instead of promoting. So clients, they hire me sometimes to do that. Like, I have a new client right now. Like, he's brought me in So I'm from the outside. Okay? But then, wala naman siyang internal that can actually fix his business. Okay, that's why he's bringing me in. I think that if you're doing a good job and you're fixing constantly, like smooth yung running ng kumpanya and you're inside the company, then you need to point it out to the client. Because if you don't point it out, the client may hire somebody from the outside, somebody like me. Okay? Binabayaran po yung pag-subscribe po dun sa Ring Central, yes po. Or yung, nakalimutan ko na yun sa Google number. May tawag dun eh. Google Voice. Ayan. Yes, palaging may yan, subscription. Yung iba parang per call. Tapos, yung sa Skype dati, there was like per month and then per call. Yan. So, Google Voice. Yan. Gusto ko po mag-apply sa Upwork for script writing kahit wala experience. Sana po may idea ka po. So, sa Upwork, if you have an account, then you're very lucky to have an account there because marami accounts hindi na tatanggap sa Upwork, 'di ba? Masyadong general yung profile. Ngayon, if you have a Upwork account and you're able to apply for jobs, for me, just keep applying. 'Di ba? Just keep applying, keep improving. Sa mga nagtatanong sa mga aspiring VAs who are like, oh, I want to start as a VA and how do I start? My advice is to do your research po. Do your research. Okay. I always advise get into a niche or a field na walang gustong pumasok. Na okay, mag-search kayo sa TikTok na mga VA training. Okay? Makikita yung kung ano yung pinakamaraming may training, wag nyo kunin. Wag nyo kunin. Okay? So, makikita kayo marami nag-aalok ng courses on real estate, cold calling, appointment setting, blah, 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 blah. Okay? The only course that I would recommend is yung kay the Queen VA, si Christine. Because I know she gets results. Like, and she goes the extra mile. Pero, kasi support is a big thing when it comes to taking a course. Pag tapos ka na sa course, yung iba, bibitawan ka na. Like, they don't give a shit. Kasi nagbayad ka na eh. Natapos mo na yung course, so what? Si Christine, si the Queen VA, she goes the extra mile. Tapos, si Coach Isa. Alright? Si Coach Isa, kasi konektado sa sa Riva Global. Talagang konektado siya sa VA agency. So, and marami siyang training like podcast management, like hindi lang real estate. Okay? But, in general, if you really want to survive for years in this industry, i-search mo, VA training, yung mga walang training, yun ang kunin mo. Kasi ibig sabihin, wala ka masyadong kaagaw doon sa niche na yon. I'll give you niches na wala kang kaagaw. LinkedIn marketing. LinkedIn ads. Yung paid ads sa LinkedIn. YouTube ads and YouTube marketing. Wala masyadong papasok dyan. Maraming papasok sa Google ads, Facebook ads, Meta. Maraming papasok dyan. Maraming media buyers sa ganyan. Instagram ads, marami. Okay? Yung walang gustong pumasok, LinkedIn ads, LinkedIn marketing, content marketing. Another niche na walang gustong pumasok is the really technical niches, cybersecurity. You will find it difficult to find training sa mga ganyang niche, which is why kailangan mo pumunta sa mga malalaking kumpanya, right? So I did some posts, I think 2 weeks ago, of links to free training. Like, for example, interesado ka sa SEO. There's free training on Yoast Academy. Yoast is a big name in SEO. Dahil nga, big name, so big profits. So part of those profits, pwede nila i-boost into free training. Do you offer training? Next month, I'll be offering marketing automation training, although it's not a it's not something that I highly recommend for a complete newbie because automation is like if you have no background in digital marketing, it just goes way past your head. Tapos hindi ka IT graduate, hindi ka like wala kang background in coding, tapos sumabak ka agad sa automation, like it's just gonna go straight over your head, honestly. Cybersecurity and risk management. So, yan, yung mga hindi masyadong pinapasukan na ano. Another one is 3D design. So yung mga gumagamit ng Figma, mga UX designer, it still continues to be a big industry. Exhibition marketing. So what is exhibition marketing? So exhibition marketing kasi yung mundo bumabalik na galing sa pandemic, 'di ba? So bumabawi na siya. So yung mga tao who are they're starting to put up concerts again, 'di ba? Yung mga on-site na mga events, mga concerts, yung mga stall, yung mga what do you call it? Yung mga trade events, yung mga ganyan. And some people might come to your event, some people won't because wala namang official end pa sa COVID. Okay? The person who becomes an expert on getting people to show up for physical events, which is exhibition marketing or exhibit marketing, yun yung may career. At least for the next 2 years. If marunong ka gumawa ng content on all the platforms to get people to show up for an event, like that's a niche in itself. Okay? Alam mo paano mag-generate ng QR code sa mga automation software. Like, that's a niche in itself. That's part of exhibition marketing. You know how to do paid ads, right? You know how to create graphics that are going to have people showing up for physical events. That's exhibit or exhibition marketing. Now, if you're really lost and you really need guidance, ikaw yung tipong tao na, kailangan ko kailangan mo ng hand-holding sa career mo, mag-apply ka sa VA agency. Although there's no guarantee they can give you a client, but at least they will have training. And they should have support. Although hindi sila makagaranti din ng client. Ang problema lang sa VA agency is, pag pumirma ka ng kontrata, usually they give you like what they call a non-compete part ng contract, and then non-compete means kapag pumirma ka sa kanila kasi hoda, whether may client ka wala, you can't find another client. Yun yung disadvantage. Pero kapag ikaw yung tipong tao na yun, alam mo sa sarili mo na, I need somebody to hold my hand, I need somebody to guide me, 'di ba? Hindi ka super proactive parang si Neva. Si Neva kung saan sumusuot para pag-training, tuwan-tuwa mag-training, di ba? If you're not that kind of person, maybe you need to apply to a VA agency that's really gonna guide you. But again, there's no guarantee of work. Okay? Tapos pipirma ka pa ng kontrata. Tapos, mataas ang standards po sa VA agency when it comes to yung equipment. Yan, internet. Dapat may backup na laptop. Dapat ganito yung headset. Dapat ganito, ganyan. So, you have a lot of options actually, even as a newbie. Well, more options than I had when I started. But, ang problema is kasi yung iba, yung expectation, hindi ayon sa experience or lack of experience. Diba? Yung parang in-interview ko na Gen Z, gusto niya $8 an hour, wala siyang experience. No experience whatsoever. And I gave her a chance. I was like, okay, explain to me what is going to make you worth like $8 an hour. And then she just dropped out of the Zoom call. I'm giving you a chance to explain. Maybe I might give you $8 an hour. Magaling ka talaga mag-explain. Diba? The fact that you just dropped out of the Zoom is like, okay, maybe you really didn't want $8. Like, what am I supposed to think? Finish what you started at least. Pero para sa akin, yung mga nagsasabi na, ay kasi gusto ko na six figures, blah, 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 blah. Kasi, somebody apparently, you know, didn't tell you the truth. Okay, that's why you believe that. There is a way to get six digits in, your income. You have to enter a field that is scary, that nobody else wants. Okay, like LinkedIn ads, LinkedIn marketing. LinkedIn as a platform, like a lot of VAs and freelancers, they stay away from it. Why? Because they think it's a scary platform. Kaya sobrang bihira yung mga na-interview ko na VAs and freelancers na marunong mag-LinkedIn ads, let's say. As in, isang katutak, marunong mag-Facebook ads, Instagram ads, mga ganon, Google ads. But how many really know how to do LinkedIn ads? Not a lot. Because they're scared of it. So if you want to make, that means, if walang pupasok sa ganong field, wala ka masyadong kalaban. Kung matapang ka na tao and you really want the six figures in at least your first 2 years, yun ang papasukin mo na niche. Mga ganong tipo. What are the experiences that you need to gain po before ka mag-VA? Nothing really. It depends. Like, yung mga VA agency, tumatanggap na no experience. So, I wouldn't say you need to have experience before you are a VA, because a lot of the VA agencies, they take on people with no experience. But if you're going to be a freelancer, you need to have experience. Kasi nag-apply ka na sa direct clients. Yung mga direct na clients, they don't want to train. They don't have time to train you. Okay? They would rather prefer to pay somebody who costs, let's say, $13 an hour, who already knows what to do, rather than hire you for $5 an hour and they still have to train you. It's going to take them 2 months to train you. Yung mga clients, like, most of them are not that patient. Yung mga direct clients, Kaya kung gusto mag-direct clients, kumuha ka ng experience. Kung gusto mong magkatrabaho, or kung gusto mong guided ka, like somebody's holding your hand, tapos wala kang experience, sa VA agency ka. But I'm not gonna blow smoke up your ass and say, oh, galing ka sa BPO? Sure, yeah, I think you can earn six figures within, 6 months. I'm not gonna blow smoke up your ass and tell you that. Because it took me six years to be earning six figures with just one client. It took me that long. So if it took me that long, yung iba nga 10 years, di ba? Bago kumita ng six figures sa isang client lang. Okay, I have like 6 minutes left before my shift starts. Nag-offer po ba kayo ng training? Baka next month. Pero kung newbie ka na VA, I actually would not really recommend like marketing automation training. It's gonna go straight over your head because you have no experience. It's just gonna confuse you. I would advise getting some experience first in like knowing something about digital marketing before you actually, go into a field like that. I think you're the sign that I'm looking for. Love it. May nakita din ako dito sa TikTok na inabot siya ng 5 years before exactly. It takes that long. After shift mo, Miss Jen, sa Saturday ka na ulit mag-live. Yes, so my regular podcast is gonna be on Saturday, the same time, 12 a.m. Although I'll be on shift at that time, so I'm not sure what that's gonna look like. Hopefully, makapag-live pa rin. So, bukas I'm gonna do videos on how to ask your clients for more money. Okay. Today I did videos on how to find out how much your client is paying the VA agency. Okay, pag ako naka-work, Miss Jen, mag-enroll ako sa marketing automation next month. Good. You should provide that experience. I should provide that experience. Why? Are you paying me to provide that experience? I don't work for free. Like, I think my content is already valuable and that's free. Okay. But you telling me, "Oh, you should do that. You should do this. You should do that." Like, I don't work for you. Hello. Okay, 3 minutes left. So I'll put the replay on my YouTube channel. I really appreciate you guys who are subscribing. Thank you so much. If you have suggestions for what you want us, kasi mas organized sa YouTube yung content, di ba? So, yung mga interview tips, mga nasa isang playlist, tapos yung mga replay ng podcast is in another playlist, tapos yung mga VA hacks is in another playlist. Mas organized talaga sa YouTube. Mas madali hanapin kaysa dito sa TikTok. Tsaka yung TikTok, yung algorithm right now, they're just pushing the new content. Um, they push the new content for just the first 30 days. And then after that, like wala na silang pakialam. So your content gets kind of lost in La La Land. So, sayang. Kaya nilipat ko sa YouTube yung iba para mas madali hanapin in case you need it there. Diba? For those of you who have job interviews this week and next week, I wish you the best of luck. Um, hopefully, you guys learned something, and the replay is going to be on my YouTube channel. Yung mga gusto sumali sa simulation, I don't have an agency. I would never put up a VA agency. Like, never. That's not a business that I would put up. Okay, good night, Neva. Hey. Bye. Ingats po. Ingats everyone. Have a great shift. Paano po sumala sa simulation? So you can comment on one of my interviews one of my posts that you're interested, or if I follow you, or you follow me, then you can DM me, and then I will give you the guidelines. Ayan, finalo na kita, Miss Amy. James, sasali, diba? Sali ka simulation, diba? Anyway, I really appreciate your time, guys. Thanks so much. So my shift's going to start in a bit. And I will see you on Saturday for my regular podcast or vodcast. Take care. Ingat.